What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. As you can see, we have an incredibly special guest today, one of the former members of the BallGame podcast, one of the
Founding
core
fathers.
5 of the BallGame podcast, Dean Wagner. We have greatly missed you, buddy.
I know. I miss being on here.
By the way,
I miss this basement. I miss y'all. I miss seeing your faces.
so I was about to say, this is not just the first time that the BallGame podcast is seeing Dean in a while. This is also the first time that his best friends are seeing Dean in a while. But life happens.
It's a busy time in life, man. You know, when you become an adult, it's just stuff just keeps happening. That's what I'm learning.
Not that level,
No,
yeah. We
Going to
haven't
bar
reached-
tomorrow.
Things just keep happening, and you don't even realize time is passing, and then time passes, and you're like, whoa, I haven't hung out with my friends in a year.
Yeah, it's
You know?
it's been a
365 days really sneak up on you.
it's been a
No, it does.
a while.
Okay, you can't tell me the last year hasn't gone by like that.
We were talking about that before.
Last year's gone by so quick. Like we went to Punta over a year ago. That sounds fake.
Yeah, Punta was a long time ago.
What was that?
Oh my God.
A month? A year and a month?
Ago?
A year and a month?
Yeah, about 13 months
About
ago. And this was when we were in Barcelona, actually.
Right now?
It's a little
No.
bit. We just got back.
Like
we
a-
got back a week.
like a
ago.
week?
Yeah, we got back a week ago. Yeah,
Crazy.
it's kind of fucking wild, dude.
Anyway, I miss you guys. I miss the podcast. Glad I'm back for today.
Yeah, happy to have you back, man. But you know what else it's been a long time for? It's been such a long time since we had an NCAA college football video.
Thank God you
I know.
were giving us the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, no,
about
I was
that
definitely
before we
gonna
get
bring it
into
up.
what
Come
we're-
Yeah.
on, bro. I saw the perfect opportunity to transition, too, so we had to. It's back.
I wish
It's
we had
here,
I wish we had a capture card, bro. I would so do a college football tournament right now.
bro.
We could go. We know a guy who works at Best Buy. If
We do.
Do have a
wanted-
plug at Best Buy.
He
Yeah.
probably has one. Yeah, we could definitely do one.
Dang.
We absolutely
Get
should
Nick to
do
set
that.
that up.
It's been.
We could definitely. That wouldn't be hard to set up. We could literally sit like this and just do it on the
Like,
TV.
Well, you could do a cam too.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, yeah, we could definitely set up. But we'll do. We are setting up a college football tournament at some point in the next month. It'll happen. We'll
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
it out. That's easy
That's
to
fun.
set up.
Yeah.
So it's been 11 years
Mm-hmm.
since the last college football game, NCAA 14. And I'm going to be honest, was it worth the wait? I wish there was no wait, but fuck yeah, this game is worth the wait. I mean, this has been awesome. I know we've been grinding, you guys have been grinding Dynasty. Starting yesterday, I've been grinding Dynasty now. And it's been super fun, super in-depth for the recruiting and stuff. I think, honestly, they kind of nailed it with this game, and I couldn't be happier. I can't wait to see the future of NCAA football games as well, bro. How are we feeling, guys? What are our thoughts? How do we feel about the new college football game?
Man, I never played
Yo,
it back in the day.
These two are going crazy behind the camera right now. Why are you guys fighting so much today?
I tuned them out. I don't even.
I know, but the mics.
I
don't
thought they were
tune
gonna
them
kiss.
out.
Right. Okay.
They
yeah,
might
yeah.
honestly kiss each other. Kiss each other.
So anyway,
Legit.
Oh, you're off the
Continue.
pod.
Continue.
I never really played NCAA back in the day, so this is my first experience with it, and it's really fun. I think it's better than Madden, but I'm just so bad at it. Like all I do is throw interceptions, bro. It's literally all I do.
Heisman is extremely
I
difficult.
don't even play on Heisman. I play
think-
on All American.
Yeah, I think right now for me,
Everyone
All
plays
American is
All-American,
pretty
yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
I'm starting to beat people online, but I still throw a lot of picks. I crumble under the pressure, but I think that's a me
Dude,
thing. I
my
don't think it's a
first game.
thing.
So I started my dynasty. I chose Akron. Yeah, it was rough. My first game was against Ohio State. I lost 63-7.
bro. In my FAU one, I played Bama. They were ranked #1 in the country at the time in the second year on the road at Bama on Heisman. Bro, my whole team started cold. They were cold all game. Like everyone on my offense had the fucking snowflake. Bro,
Yeah.
the screen was shaking the entire fucking game. I couldn't see my fucking play art. I couldn't do a single. I couldn't.
Bro,
do
you
anything,
can't
bro.
audible.
I
It's
couldn't do
so
You can't audible at all.
annoying.
You can't audible at
And
all.
I had Gallo and O'Sleazy in the party. I was like, yo, I'm starting a share screen. Like, we're about to see fucking greatness. They got the ball first. Bro, they're driving down. They're like in field goal range. They throw a drag over the middle. I pop the guy and force the fumble. Oh, Sweezy's like, oh shit, we might get a game here now. I drive down. I kick the field goal. They scored 37 straight, and that was the game right
Oh
there.
my
37 to
gosh.
3.
37-3.
Dude, I was like, one
I mean,
thing
I've
is,
gotten 70 dropped on me too. Yeah.
The-
My first game on Heisman on my UNC one, I versus Arizona.
Heisman's
That was hold on. I'm sorry. So my first dynasty was a UNC dynasty. I see there's custom schedules. I'm like, fuck it. I want some comp in my first game. I'm gonna play on Heisman. So I put Arizona. They're ranked 16th in the country right now with Ted McMillan and all those dudes. And people say Arizona's playbook is also the best in the game right now, according to TikTok. Schedule them. They score 70 on my fucking dome, bro. Like it was like 70-7. Maybe I scored 10, whatever it was. I switched to All-American for that one because it was my first one. I was like, I can't do this Heisman right now. Whatever. We make it the fucking 4 years in the future. My quarterback, Connor Harrell, who's actually on UNC, graduates. That third year, we went on a little run. We beat number 1 Clemson on the road. We beat a bunch of ranked teams and then folded down the stretch. We didn't make the playoff or anything.
You were simming, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I started
Okay.
simming after the Clemson game. The quarterback graduates. I'm like, all right, like it's going to be a fucking rebuilding year. I have a freshman quarterback that I redshirted the year prior. So now he's like in his first real year. Spencer Hakeem, 73 overall. Bro, I don't know how we did it, but we started the season 2-3. We lost back-to-back to Bama and to Stanford. And then somehow, some way, we ran. Stanford gets really good every fucking time for
Do they
whatever
really?
reason, yes. There's certain teams, like, because I've done like 3 now that I've gone like multiple years. There's certain teams that get good. every
Always
time,
become
yeah.
great. Yeah.
But,
you said Marshall was one of them.
In mine, at least, I was playing with Coastal Carolina, and Marshall always somehow won the conference championship. Always
Yeah.
became ranked.
Yeah, but we ran the table, made it all the way to the playoff, won the first playoff game, I think, versus K-State. In the semis, we played South Carolina, the Battle of the fucking Carolinas. It was electric. We beat them. And then waiting for me in the national championship 4 years later, the Arizona Wildcats. Bro,
circle.
the script writers couldn't have done a better job. For my first ever dynasty, for it all to go down like that,
Wow.
like thank you, Madden simulation people, like, because it was just perfect. We walked in there and stomped them, beat them by like fucking 20.
Wow.
They were no match for us, bro, in a rebuilding year too. And then that was the end of my UNC one. Moved on to FAU. Brought in an insane recruiting class, the number 38 recruiting class in the country, as FAU, a 1-star fucking program in the first year. Nuts. 3-star quarterback, Vi Choi, 6'4", 97 speed, 96 throw power. Bro, we won some. We were 2-3. We had just lost to Alabama, and now the game was fucking glitched where you can't get into your online dynasties. So I still haven't been able to get back in. I'm gonna keep trying. So one thing I do love about how they rolled out this game is they're being very transparent about the fact that the game wasn't done, which it is crazy that the game wasn't done.
Yeah.
It's crazy that they had so much time and they weren't
11 years
finished.
later.
But for EA, it's big for them to actually be transparent about, hey, there's things that are wrong in the game. And they put out a long tweet today about like, we're trying to fix this, and this. I know there's a recruiting bug where you can't ask guys
You
on
can't schedule
visits.
certain
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
annoying.
They said
I
they
lost a
haven't had
4-star linebacker because of that shit.
So
I'm pissed.
they'll be down
says
to their
you
top
can't
five.
schedule a
Pissed.
visit until a dude has his
Top
top 5
fives, yeah.
schools,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll have his top 5.
Well, no, I
They'll
know
have
that, yeah.
visits from other schools, and it won't let you schedule a visit for whatever reason.
What?
And
I
it's
haven't
just
had that
like
yet.
random
Horrible,
too.
bro.
It's just like random dude.
So
It
annoying.
doesn't happen super often, but often enough where you're like this.
You know,
You
I've had
lose a
it
guy that
happen to
you
like
don't
3
always
recruits.
like,
and
like
it's
3
always
good
like your
recruits.
best recruit
Right,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
board
yeah.
that it
Oh,
happens with every
jeez,
fucking
man.
time. So
Yeah, it's the
it's
worst.
rough. But I mean, the game's lit. The gameplay, it's different.
I like it a lot.
I like it because it's super fast paced.
It is.
It's very unrealistic to the point where it feels kind of realistic. I don't know how to describe it.
Bro,
But I think
my-
that's how college football is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tom. I didn't
No,
mean
No,
to-
the
you're
problem
good.
is the fucking fact that if you don't have even a decent offensive line, you're sacked in 1.2
The offensive
seconds
line is
every
it's
single
horrible.
play.
Bro, the linebackers
TikTok
jump
says,
6 feet in the air and
TikTok
intercept
says
me.
you have
It's awful.
to. They added all the protection shit, like the offensive line controls. You have to like really like set
Switch
your protections. They say you have to ID the mic. That's like, I mean, but like, That's football, though.
I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
That's football.
It's
You
pretty
hold
simple.
L1,
You
it
just-
brings up
yeah.
all the pass blocking controls. But you, for whatever reason, in this game, it's not like Madden where you press it and everything comes up. You have to hold the L1 as you're doing all the controls. But
so
that's where you
whack.
set like double teams. You could half slide to one
Slide to
direction.
one
You could
direction,
full
yeah.
slide to one direction. ID the mic linebacker. They say on TikTok that that's like the most important part is IDing the mic
That is
because
so football, but like, I don't want to do
because
that.
if the mic fucking
wanna do all this
blitzes and you don't
pre-snap
like
shit,
have him
bro.
identified,
every play.
that's the free rusher that's running through your
Yeah.
offensive line every time.
There are definitely times I do it, but like,
Bro.
oh,
Yeah,
man,
I don't know
wanna
enough
I don't think
about
I've-
football.
No,
to-
there-
I've
just
never
be-
ID'd a mic.
I've
Yeah,
ID'd the
not me
mic
neither.
sometimes in the
no,
game. but
never
I-
in Madden, never in my life.
Bro,
but-
there'll just be times where like I snap the ball, my offensive lineman just stands there and watches his man just run around him. And
Well,
sack
that's
me.
another thing. I
Like,
think
that's so
awareness
fucked.
has to be like one of the more important stats
Yes.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
games
okay.
because even like my receivers and shit, like I'll run like RPO screen passes and they just fucking stand there like, and don't block.
Yeah.
It's like guys,
That happened to me
like come
too.
on.
Yeah, I'm like, I understand
Like,
receivers
the
don't really
play
block.
Only
but,
works
like,
if you
come on,
guys
man.
block.
Right.
It only works if you guys block. Like
Right.
we're trying to win a natty and you guys can't fucking
No.
lay a block.
My
Like,
favorite-
You're upset you're not getting the ball, bro. Come on.
My favorite thing is when I have a regular inside zone run play, and then all of a sudden my left guard that that's the hole that I'm supposed to hit, just stares at the guy and I get sacked. I get fucking destroyed, Jadeveon Clowney style.
The
where
running-
the second my guy gets the ball, he's blown up.
Yeah, running like inside it's
Running inside
it's
is
very
tough.
hard.
It is
The outside
very
runs they'll work,
Yeah.
but like running inside is tough.
difficult. Especially if you have a fast running back. Those
When you're on the
outside runs
road,
are dangerous.
Bro, I know, like, it made all the difference when I switched my running back with 86 speed to the one with 89 speed.
Yeah.
It was all the
Speed's
difference.
the,
Speed's-
most
speed's
important.
The most
thing.
important stat in the game.
wins.
Bro, I scouted a receiver with 100 speed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Didn't even know you
I've
could do
had
that.
A few of
Me
them.
too.
Yeah,
I missed
Didn't even
out
know
on
you
it.
do that.
I missed
Yeah.
out
Do
on
you
it. I
guys,
was
do you guys
pissed.
see the names?
Yeah,
I don't really get them in my. I haven't
haven't
noticed
gotten
any,
but,
but I
like,
see them on
Twitter.
Crazy, bro. Jeff Epstein.
I got a Juan
R.
Soto.
Kelly.
You
Like,
got Juan Soto in
I got
yours?
Juan Soto.
That's
No way.
fucking hilarious.
That's
bro.
awesome.
I see like Jason Tatum's in there.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
They have George Bush in that shit.
They did a
bro.
lot. They did a lot.
It's mad funny.
A lot of
mad
Easter
funny.
eggs in that game.
Yeah,
No, yeah, the game's fun. It's fresh. It's new. I'm sure at some point I'm gonna go on a rampage about how much I hate
Yeah,
it. But
I've never played regular teams as much as I played now, just because the gameplay is good. Like I just want to play. I don't
Oh, I
even
get
got to be
so
working
mad,
towards
bro.
anything.
It is genuinely
just
good
wanna play.
gameplay.
Bro,
It really is.
I played with Alabama like online the other day. Insane.
Jalen
Jalen
Milroe's
Milroe's
probably a cheat
nuts.
code, right?
Yeah, they say the running back on Ohio State, not Henderson, the other guy, number one.
I don't know who. Was
I don't know
He
what the fuck
fucked
his name is. It's some like crazy name, but they're saying like he's like the best like video game football player of all time history. He
I haven't
has
played with him yet.
he has like the 360 like ability, so he
Oh my
has like the
God.
steerable spin move. So you press circle and you spin with the left stick the direction. So like you, because sometimes if you press circle and try and
And it
spin, your
spins the
guy will
wrong
just
direction.
spin the
Yeah, yeah.
complete wrong direction right into the defender. But you could like steer the spin move with the left stick. So they say like his spin move's insane. He's the best ever.
You know
Forget
who
his
else
name,
was
though.
really good? I played with Notre Dame. Their running back, Love.
I set my favorite team to Notre Dame because I don't have a favorite team for
So
college
did I.
football, so I just picked Fighting Irish. I was like,
But
all right.
he's insane. He's crazy.
I
too.
can't with the drums, bro.
They're
Bro,
supposed to drop
I
a soundtrack.
I thought I was done listening to Mo Bamba. Every goddamn third down, I got home.
Nah, the Mo Bamba's electric.
I think that's
but
lit.
When
Bro,
I'm
I've just
fucking
I get
heard Mo
fired
Bamba
up.
so
and I
many
just-
times in my life.
Bro, when I'm fucking recruiting and I hear those drums, bro, I can't.
I
can't.
mute my TV
Bro,
or I put
I
music on.
can't.
Like,
My
I
head
can't
start.
do it.
Well, because you know what it is with recruiting. You sit there for so many hours that you don't even realize,
Yeah, bro.
and you've been listening to these drums for hours, and your
So
head just
long.
starts to
Yeah,
hurt,
no.
and you start to feel sick, and you're like, "What is it?" And you're like, "These drums."
I wish they did the fight songs on the main screen. and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you just listen to multiple teams fight songs.
There's-
I would
They
love
That's why I don't
They're
that.
understand.
supposed to
Why
add
is there not like a
soundtrack.
soundtrack?
They're supposed to be one.
Right?
Like they, yeah.
They're adding one. It hasn't
Yeah.
dropped yet.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like the game,
Game isn't
wasn't
finished? Right, right, right.
I feel like soundtrack's one of the easier things to program into a game, though.
I would
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. I don't know what's taking so long. It's definitely not a perfect game. It's
No.
definitely not a
I mean,
perfect
it's an
game.
EA
No, but
game,
it's
you
a
know?
great game.
It's also pretty bare bones in terms of game modes. Like you could only do 4 things.
I was looking at that today. Like I was looking at game modes, and I was like, you can literally only do Dynasty, Road to Glory, the online head-to-head, and
They don't have
Ultimate
fucking.
Team.
I was saying this in the party the other night. They don't have like squads with regular teams.
Yeah.
They only
Yeah.
have fucking MUT squads, and
Yeah.
like I'm not fucking
not-
cut. I guess it's called. I'm not fucking playing no cut, but like
I'm not doing it.
I want to do fucking 2v2s, bro. Like so
Yeah.
bad. That's like one of my favorite parts of fucking Madden is doing like.
I'm sure they'll add it.
Not doing it.
I hope so. I hope they add it at some point. If not this game, hopefully next game.
I'll never touch college. I'm never.
No, I'm not doing it.
Not spending
No,
money
I'm
on
never
a
gonna-
cut.
not gonna
Not
touch
in
Nope.
this, bro.
No,
No shot.
Not happening.
Maybe I'll do it again in Madden.
I don't
I
know,
said
but
it
then
on
that
the
Tavon
pod.
Austin card
The cards
drops,
look
and you're
cool,
like,
bro.
When
yeah,
that
bro.
99 overall Tavon
Yeah.
drops in like 4
Yeah.
months, it's gonna be the
Bro,
greatest
they
card of all
got
time.
freaking Miami Ray Lewis. They got
They had
freaking
Randy
obviously they have
Moss,
Tim
they
Tebow
had
out there.
Tim Tebow. Yeah, the first legend
Yeah.
drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if Johnny Manziel drops,
and then the RG3
I mean,
cards gonna
Bro,
drop.
right?
Oh
Johnny
my
Football.
God.
That'd be sick.
Hopefully in
Football.
the coming years they put some like historic rosters that you could do like quick play with. You
They'll
know?
probably do like a historic conference team or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel
An
like
all-conference?
doing individual teams is going to be so much work for them that's not
one
worth
thing
it.
too, bro. If they put like
Even if you
all-time
just do,
teams,
yeah, I was about
in
to
the-
say, even if you don't do like historic teams like 1 year, if you
All-time's
just do like the
cool.
all-time
Yeah.
teams like 2K, that'd be lit.
That would.
I mean,
be
they
dope.
used to have the all-time teams in Madden for a little
Yeah,
bit
they
when they
did,
added
yeah.
it in Superstar KO. They added the
But you
college.
know how many
Mm.
one of those
people are
years.
probably gonna take that fucking 2000
Miami,
Miami
yeah.
squad or something?
Even if they
and you're
did
gonna
7
hate
on
your
7,
life?
7 on 7 like all-time
All-time
teams.
teams.
7 on 7 would be cool. I would be.
Yeah, I think they. Hopefully, they see the response. They see that people are happy with the game and having a good time, and EA as a company doesn't take their foot off the gas like they do with
Yes.
Madden. They just say, "Well, oh, like they're gonna buy the game anyway." You know what I mean? Like, hopefully they keep the energy that they're putting into it.
I
now
just
keep
and I
improving
think
it.
that the reason that that's gonna be the case, I think while yes, EA as a whole does own NCAA and Madden, you would think they have a whole monopoly on the football sport. I feel like they also have obviously different developers that are very reliant on like we are gonna get a bigger paycheck if this game succeeds more than this game. So I think that they're always going to keep their foot on the gas now because these two games are kind of going to be competing against each other a little bit too. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. I love it. I think this game is great. They will improve it. I expect them to improve it.
I just hope I could get back into my FAU dynasty, man. It's really like it's been all I could think about for the past 4 days. I'm not gonna lie. Like we played the online dynasty last night. Like it was cool, but like, bro, I put blood, sweat, and tears into that FAU fucking dynasty recruiting, bro. I really did the thing in year one, and if I get that taken away from me, I'm not a happy camper.
Yeah.
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 And you want to win the Natty, and I'm sure these virtual players really want to get drafted. So today, what are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing a mock draft.
Oh, we're podcasting.
We are
I forgot we were
podcasting.
here.
We did actually have something planned for today, and that is a 6-man mock draft. We got Trunks and Pete behind the camera over there. They're going to be drafting.
So happy you said
obviously, the
mock draft
4
after you
here
said 6
in
man.
front of the camera. We're going to be drafting. Yeah, so we have Dean over here with the 3rd overall pick. We have Trunks with the 4th. I have the 5th overall pick. That's Pete. Oh, Tom has 7. Sorry, I was about to skip you.
7, yeah.
That's Pete behind the sticks over there with the 10th overall pick for BallGame, and Chris has the 11th. So 6 people in a mock draft. And
I don't think I've ever seen a mock draft with 6 people before.
yeah, it's crazy.
exciting.
This is insane.
Exciting.
This is electric.
This is
man.
this is indeed
What's the
electric.
team structure? What are we doing? Just regular, straight up, 2 flex?
2
So,
flags, 5
yeah.
bench, 1 quarterback.
No kicker, no defense.
No,
Yeah.
we're not mock drafting.
We're not mock
kickers
drafting
and
kickers.
defense. I never mock draft
Fair.
kickers and
Never,
defense.
yeah.
bro.
So fair.
So yeah.
All right.
All right. We're all ready to get this thing started.
Almost set.
Let's
Pete, you're good over there?
do it.
Cool. All right. Let's run it. He's already in, buddy.
No, he's here.
He has the 4th overall pick. Yeah, you're good. Oh. Are you not?
Back out. That happened to me before. Just back out and go back in.
How about just close the
Close
switcher
it
up
and then
read?
go
yeah,
back in.
exactly.
Not the app. You don't have to do all that, but you did, didn't you?
So how about those Jets uniforms?
All
They are-
right.
they are
Clemmy
fine.
sent me the Jags.
I like them a
jerseys.
lot personally.
Jags jerseys.
The
are
Jets
cool.
ones, yeah.
Jack
What, the
jersey.
Jags
throwback
jer- the Jags
Jags?
jerseys are cool.
They are,
yeah,
yes. I kind of
yeah.
want to get a Trevor Lawrence with that. All right, we ready to
Those
go?
are cool.
Let's do it.
What number is Brian Thomas?
7.
7, yeah.
That's cool.
That's super clean.
All right.
Wow, Amon-Ra St. Brown went the 2nd overall pick.
What? That's why we love
It's fine,
sleeper
it's
mock
fine.
drafts.
He's good. He's good.
Mm.
So it says you are on the clock, right?
Yeah, you're good.
So right now, I'm between CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill.
I know who I would take, personally.
I'm
And
leaning Tyreek Hill, and I took Tyreek Hill.
okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would have went.
I
Tyreek
would have
Hill,
went with
yeah.
Tyreek Hill as well. And you take CD pretty easily. And then for me, I'm taking Jamar.
I mean, Jetta's
My
Jamar
dynasty boy.
pick at
Oh,
pick
man.
5 is amazing, honestly.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong.
can't go wrong with that.
So
Here you
McCaffrey
go.
goes 1, and then all receivers.
Now you got Bijan and Brees
yeah.
all staring you in the face.
Yeah.
Unless you want a receiver.
No, I don't want a receiver. I'm definitely gonna take Bijan.
There you go.
Big Bijan guy. Love it.
Oh, and then after
You get 2
Tom
minutes, brother.
selects, the run on
Suck my Bijan.
running back starts. Is
Bijan.
Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor up next. And now we got Pete on the board.
JT over Gibbs. If someone actually takes JT over Gibbs in a league I'm in,
I don't think that's
Really?
the dumbest thing in the world,
I think it's
personally. I
crazy.
think JT could still have a great year, personally.
Definitely.
I mean, we were supposed to do our running back rankings today. You probably wouldn't have been happy at where I had Jahmyr
Really?
Gibbs. I'm not gonna reveal too much because
Oh,
we're gonna
wow.
have to.
is it between 10 and
Wow.
15? Is he in top
No
10?
way. He's
No,
out
he's
of the
top 10. He's top
Okay.
10. That would have been crazy.
Top 5?
No.
Wow.
Pete-
I don't think he's
PT
in my top 5 either.
Wow.
I know.
he's my
What
top
is he
five.
Well, you'll
right now?
see.
Consensus
You'll
we're
see.
like 4.
3
You'll
or
see.
4, yeah.
All right, and Pete goes with AJ Brown there. So I'm here at the 11. I mean, I hate to be that guy,
Oh, we know
but
who he's taking.
Yep.
No. His boy, brother. He's got a shirt for this
Yeah, he's
man.
got the T-shirt of this.
I don't think you got to take
He's
him
on
that
his
early.
dynasty
I have the
squad.
jersey coming too. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with a guy who's been pretty fire throughout the start of his career, and he definitely gets an upgrade at quarterback this year. I expect him to be a fantasy god this year. I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson
There
here.
he is.
Is he
As Mark
typically a
been
first round pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
He's
ADP's
a late first, early second.
Yeah, he's at like
in
12 one turn. Kinda.
Yeah. So then at the
I don't
turn,
like
it
that.
goes Puka and Marv.
I just don't trust the Jets.
I mean,
See.
It's fair.
It's a tough one.
Other than Brees, I
take
mean,
Puka over?
Garrett's
Brees is-
amazing.
Brees is a lot.
You take
What?
Puka over Garrett?
Yeah.
I would probably take Puka over Garrett Wilson too.
It's a tough one. I don't know.
I would probably take Puka over
oh, it's
Garrett
just
Wilson,
like
too.
Garrett. Like I know he's gonna get the targets.
Take
and I
Jameer
saw
over
some.
both.
I saw some crazy stat that like Aaron Rodgers has never had a receiver played with a receiver that he gave over 140 targets that didn't finish as a wide receiver 4 or better,
Wow.
including like
Wow.
Tay Adams, Jordy. I think James Jones even had a year. Like so, if a guy's gonna get 140 targets with Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna be a top 5
James
fantasy
Jones
wide
did
receiver.
not finish wide receiver 4.
James
Did he
Jones had
really?
like 15 touchdowns one year.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
James Jones had a year, man.
Yeah. So
You're on
Puka
the-
and Marv go at the
On
turn.
the cock.
What happened?
I was just saying you're on the cock.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have time here.
I mean, die cock. I mean, die cock.
I mean,
This is tough.
listen, streets might not like it. I just talked about my running back rankings. There's 2 running backs here. I have them ranked back to back, but I have one guy higher than the other guy. I think Saquon Barkley's going to have a big
Yep.
year. I think he's going to have his career high in touchdowns playing in that Philly offense behind that offensive line. He's obviously going to be involved in the passing game too, just being the dynamic threat that he is. So I'm going to go with Saquon here. I think he just has more of a guaranteed path to success than Gibbs. I think, Gibbs showed out last year, but he's still in a backfield with David Montgomery, who will demand touches. And I know Jalen Hurts is going to get touches too, but I don't think he's going to eat into Saquon's touches too much. It's not like Jalen Hurts is a lock to repeat 15 rushing touchdowns next year.
I think now that they have Saquon, they're more inclined to use him
Yeah.
on the goal line. You're on the board
Protect
now,
Jalen
Pete.
Hurts.
Jahmyr Gibbs, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, it was simple. I know a lot of guys seeing Gibbs at the 2-3 are probably like salivating, licking their
Yeah.
lips. Yeah.
I think Gibbs is currently a RB4, I think.
Yeah, he's a first
Honestly.
round.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
first
Yeah.
round.
He's a first.
He's like
late
the end of the first
early
round.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
He's the 1-2 turn. Josh Allen goes at, oh my God.
Yeah, I hate
Okay.
this. I'm not gonna lie.
And Devontae
Um,
Adams, I mean, yeah, that's about where he's getting drafted, but I would never do that personally.
I hate this. I don't know.
Oh, because you already took a
I
running
took I
back.
took a running back and I took Bijan So I'm not going to take Drake London.
You can't take Drake London. You could go running back.
I probably
but
have to.
That might be rough to build the rest of the team after.
I don't know, man. Olave's got fucking Derek Carr. Ayuk
And Spencer Rattler.
is going to get traded.
Ayuk may get traded. Ayuk's difficult for me. He's a real difficult one to assess, honestly. I don't
There's
know where.
one receiver here who we were talking about before.
I know. That's so hot. It's such a reach, though.
Is it? No, it's
I don't know. I
not.
think
For
he's a
Nico?
ball. I think Nico's a
It's not a
baller.
I think Nico's a baller, too, but
You're not going to
I mean,
get him
if
on the
he-
turn
I don't know if I would
obviously
take him
I'm not
back.
going to get him on
If
the
he's
turn.
your guy, he's not going to come back around to you.
Yes.
I'll say
Well, I
that.
know who I would pick, and it's not him.
I know who I would pick, and it's not him as well.
Well, yeah, but
Think
You know
it's not-
what?
you guys picking.
It's a mock draft. I'm gonna try the 2 running backs. I'm gonna go Kyron Williams.
We see how
I
it
think
goes.
you.
He's a
I think you
beast.
made the right pick.
Yeah, he's a beast there. I like the
I think the
receiver
value there,
value
you
later.
couldn't- you
yeah,
couldn't pass
yeah,
up on
Kyron there, and I
Kyron,
like
yeah.
the receiver value later.
So
I'll take
you
it.
obviously didn't need to take. You obviously took 2 running backs in a row, and you couldn't take Drake London because you already had Bijan. I can take Drake
You
London.
sure can.
And I will take Drake London
Yeah, you
So-
sure can.
because I
As-
love Drake London.
As Trunks looks at the board and makes his pick, Trunks, take your time while I go on a little tangent. What is the issue with taking Drake? We're like against taking a running back and receiver that are on
With
the
your
same
first
You just
2
don't wanna-
picks, that's near
You don't want to
impossible.
root like when you're watching a game. I just feel like personally, it doesn't. I don't know if it does. It definitely doesn't affect the outcome.
So,
but I don't
yeah.
want to root against their touches.
I think the offense is good enough where they can both get theirs just fine. My first 2 picks, I don't know about that, and I
Yes.
think that's really high for Drake
Like,
London.
'cause I think
My
about-
2 best positions are on the same team, and they're
Right.
fighting over touchdown targets.
right.
That's fair, I guess. I don't know. Because I'm thinking like I'm drafting from pick 11. I don't know if this guy would fall that far, but say a Brees Hall falls to me at pick 11, right? And then on the turn, if
Garrett
Garrett
Wilson.
Wilson's staring me in the face, like, because there's a
Well,
there's a
they're the
drop
only
off
2
after
guys,
Garrett
yeah.
Wilson and receivers. You know,
I would agree.
I don't think Garrett Wilson and Tay Adams are in the same tier.
Not at
this
all.
year,
No.
personally.
Not
I think
at
Garrett
all.
Wilson's in that tier with Puka and Marvin and those guys. But let's just assume for this scenario they're off the board. Because obviously, if they were still there, I agree I wouldn't want to pair a running back and a receiver together. But say those guys are off the board and Garrett Wilson's staring me in the face at the 2-2, I feel like I have no choice. You know what I mean?
It really is dependent on how you tier players. Like that's
Yeah.
the big thing.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
just
do
don't
everything
think I'm
I can.
entirely against it. You know what I mean? One guy's a running back, one guy's a receiver.
Yeah, I'm not I don't know.
Like Brees Hall got, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head last year, but Brees Hall got a shit ton of touches last year,
He
and
did.
we know about Garrett Wilson got 160 targets last year,
Yes.
163.
A
So
lot.
like we know like those guys are gonna get their touches regardless.
Make your
so-
pick, buddy. What's your thought process?
Well, he doesn't have a mic. That's why I talk.
Well, I know.
There's no
I just
voice.
also
Yeah.
want to hear. Like, I would
ETN's
also recall,
cool.
like, say what you are about to say. So
I took Travis Etienne
I
because
took,
Travis Etienne's a guy who has no competition for touches. He's playing on an offense that
Oh, you
should
took Ayuk.
improve this year.
I took Ayuk.
Yeah, you Trunks.
I wanted to stack the receivers with two elite guys.
that's how I felt.
And then on the turn, the CPU took Achane, Laporta, Josh Jacobs, Diggs, and now I'm at 3-3. I already have 2 receivers.
Do you go running back or do you start 0 RB?
I'll
That's
tell you
the
what I'm
real
going to do
question.
right now.
Because you mentioned Nico before too,
0 RB's tough, bro.
and Nico comes around on the turn. Mike Evans also. I don't know how to feel about DJ Moore, Debo Samuel, but Derrick Henry's also staring you in the face. Depends on how you feel about Henry. So yeah, it's tough. 0 RB is tough, but I think this is one of the years where it actually works.
Yeah,
To be quite honest.
2 receivers and then Derrick Henry is not a bad start.
I just feel like 0 RB became so meta that like it's not that like everyone's trying to get receivers nowadays.
yeah,
I took
Remember
Jalen
there was
Hurts.
a time when running backs were so valuable.
interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, where running backs were like ruled fantasy football
Yes.
in the past, like I'd say,
3
2,
years.
3 years,
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
come to realize though that having those great receivers,
especially in a full PPR.
wins you
Yeah,
championships now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Took
And
Jalen
there's
Hurts.
always one guy. Go ahead.
I wanted the firepower on the team. Tyreek, Ayuk, and Hurts. I mean, those guys are getting touchdowns. That's what I want. I
They
want
sure
guys
are.
that score touchdowns.
So now the question for Trunks: do you go Derrick Henry and go 2 running backs, or is there a receiver that you really like at that spot?
Well, and that's
So-
why you draft like how Trunks did too,
Your boy, yeah.
and go with receiver,
Love
running
me
back.
some Mike Evans,
yeah,
man.
That's why you start your draft like that sometimes with a running back receiver, so you have flexibility in that third round when shit starts to hit the fan.
So personally, this comes down to preference. I love Nico Collins. Do not get me wrong. But there's 2 running backs here that I would take because I need one more. And just my preference, I have Isaiah Pacheco higher than Derrick Henry. So.
All right, so Kelsey goes off the board. And we said it wasn't going to happen, but it did.
Take 3. Oh, my God.
I get Nico Collins to fall to me in the third round. I think that's pretty crazy. I think
Because you were almost going to take him last
right
round.
for taking 2 running backs in the first round to land Nico as my wide receiver 1. I'm more than okay with that.
Now it switches to Pete. Pete started with A.J. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. What does he go with here?
What does he go with here? What are you thinking, Big Sexy?
It's all about how he values some of these receivers, too, if he wants to take them. I don't know if I'm taking a running back here necessarily.
I like the receivers on the board. I like those top 3 receivers. I like them.
I definitely quite like. I don't know how to feel about Debo still. I really have no idea how I feel about Debo. He's going to be a tough rank for me when we do wide receivers, to be honest.
But if Ayuk's gone.
But if Ayuk's gone, that changes everything.
Yeah.
So.
Ayuk's got to be gone, right?
You would think.
Right?
I don't know. Bro, San Fran has done this with guys already.
I also feel like if he was going to be gone, he probably would have been gone already.
He should have been gone a while ago, yeah.
We watched him do this with Debo.
Yeah.
We watched them do this with Nick Bosa. Where these contract holdouts would happen. He takes
Debo Samuel, yeah.
As he takes Debo. And I wouldn't be shocked if they do the same thing with Ayuk at all. Like, honest to God.
Ayuk has no leverage. They could
0.
So they have another year left on his contract now, and then they could tag him
Twice.
They have 3 years of control with Ayuk. He has no leg to stand on other than I don't want to play here.
Or I won't
and
play, yeah.
what are you gonna do? Not play for 3 years? Like San Fran has no reason to trade him at all.
Unless they get
If they're gonna move on from a guy, I mean,
offer, yeah.
I don't know who's gonna take on Debo's contract, but can move Debo. I'm not sure, but I feel like
it's tough. I think
and
Ayuk
pay
is the
Ayuk?
more valuable asset. I think
To trade,
Debo
yeah.
specifically to this offense.
Yeah,
is what he
Debo's
is.
more valuable.
you just
to
absolutely
San
do not
Fran.
even need to trade Ayuk, and you don't even need to think about it.
Yeah.
Ayuk has no leverage.
Unless you get a first.
You did take Debo, yeah.
Yeah, Pete took Debo.
So you like Debo a lot. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. Got it. Got it.
That
Okay,
was
cool.
So I'm here in the
Crazy.
third round. I started my draft with Garrett Wilson and Saquon Barkley. So like I said, I have a running back, I have a receiver. I could kind of do whatever I want here. You know, I would normally take Jalen Waddle here, but I'm going to be different here. I'm going to actually, nah, I got to take Jalen Waddle here. I was
You better take
considering
Mahomes.
No, I was considering Malik Neighbors. I'm not gonna lie, just because he's guaranteed a lot of targets.
Yeah,
but I'd really,
So good.
I can't take a Daniel Jones wide receiver in the third round. Jalen Waddle, I've talked about it a million times. He's gonna cakewalk to over 1,000 yards, and he's due for positive touchdown
Yeah.
regression.
So I wonder
I love
if
Jalen
Neighbors
Waddle.
Hurt all last year, and he
Neighbors just comes back to you.
I'll consider
You take
him.
him?
I'll see how the board goes. I mean, he
There
did
you go.
make
Well,
it back.
there you go.
Mahomes and Rashad White are the next 2 off the board.
So let me ask, so you like Neighbors more than Pittman?
Yeah, I don't like Michael Pittman. He don't score touchdowns, that dude.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna be 80
actually,
Mitchell scoring all the touchdowns.
it's a reach according to like Sleeper's draft board, but he is the best running back left on the board here. He's a guy who's the last of my top 12 running backs in my rankings. So I think this guy, I mean, last year James Cook he got 237 carries and 54 targets. Like, if you could get near that 300 touch range, like that's a guy who I'm trying to draft every time. He only scored 2 rushing touchdowns last year as well. There's no way he doesn't score more. I just think there's no way Josh Allen goes for 15 on the ground again, and someone's going to have to make up some touchdown slack, especially with Diggs leaving too. So I think this is a guy who probably is going to see more touches than he did last year, and I just think there's no way he doesn't score more touchdowns. So like I said, he's the last of my RB1s left on the board, so I'm going to go with James Cook here.
Can't wait for Curtis Samuel to take all the rushing touchdowns.
Can you imagine, bro?
Can't wait for Ray Davis.
Can't wait for
I
Curtis
feel like
Samuel, brother.
James Cook is probably like the ideal 0 0 RB.
If he's your RB1,
You know, like-
yeah.
I think the 4th round is way too late for him.
I agree.
He's like Rashad White's cool and all,
I don't
but
like
like
Rashad White.
James Cook is gonna get probably the same amount of volume, maybe not the same amount of work in the passing game, but definitely more rushing work, and he's just a better football player and a better offense.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for I like Rashad White too. That's my dog for life, but there's no reason for Rashad White to go ahead of James Cook in a fantasy draft ever.
I agree with
There's
that
no
statement.
way.
I think Rashad White's one of the most overvalued. Top of the 4th isn't that bad, but all right, Pete, what you got? You got 2 receivers, 1 running back. Seems as though there's more running backs than anything else on the board at the current moment, unless you want to reach on a running back. I mean, more receivers, whatever. Okay.
I don't think that's too
I
early.
don't think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
too early at all.
4th round Lamar is completely cool.
It's about the spot that he's going. Do you want the Giant?
I think I do. I didn't expect to get him here. I like DK. I think we say it like every year about DK, but like this
That was you? Yo, what did you guys all eat before this?
I didn't think y'all would notice.
We definitely heard it, buddy.
Oh.
Definitely heard it, buddy.
So I like DK. I like Smitty too,
Or do you take the stack,
but no, I'm not taking
who I
the
think
stack.
is one of the most overvalued players in all fantasy
Nah, fuck
football
that. I'm
right
not
now.
taking the stack. Running backs are good too.
You think
but-
CJ is overvalued?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
because he's a quarterback that doesn't run,
yeah.
so his
Who's the
floor
first
is
overall
inside.
pick in our dynasty?
He was the first overall pick. I got Josh Allen at 3.
I think that's the most ridiculous thing
That's
I've ever heard
crazy.
in my life.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Well, I was gonna say a super flex league. Yeah, he's a top 5
Top
pick
5 or 6 picks, sure. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Who would
disagree
you
with
go?
you.
First overall.
Dynasty startup super flex.
It should be Josh Allen.
Josh Allen should be one,
Josh Allen.
no matter what.
Would you go
Jalen
Lamar,
Probably Hurts.
Hurts,
Lamar's
Lamar,
up there.
Pat Mahomes, Stroud?
Probably the order that I would go. And then then I'm taking receivers probably. Or a
I'm
Anthony
sorry,
Richardson.
bro.
I
but,
think
like,
about
there's
Anthony
a
Richardson.
conversation to be had for Joe Burrow over Stroud too.
I just,
too many injuries.
Yeah.
I guess.
I also think Stroud's definitely in a better situation, 1,000%.
T. Higgins is gone after the season, by the way.
I guess with T leaving,
Walking,
yeah. I don't
walking.
know.
I love Houston's front office. I do not.
I'm
trust
taking Malik
Cincinnati.
Neighbors.
I was about to say, so what
no,
were
I'm
you
just letting
doing?
you guys do your thing, but I'm taking Malik Neighbors.
Okay,
He's
so
gonna
I
be
have
a monster.
I have a player here real quick that I absolutely love. I'm not going to take a while on this one. I'm higher than most, I feel like, and it's Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I love Smitty this year. If
Love-
Neighbors wasn't on the board, I totally
Devontae
would have
Smith
taken
this year.
Devontae Smith.
Love Devontae Smith this year. So I think that's a pretty simple pick, especially as a slot receiver in the Kellen Moore offense. That is a cheat code.
Yeah.
So he could potentially be better than AJ Brown this year. Yes, I said it.
Really?
Yes, I said it. Yes.
I don't know about
I
that.
wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I
I
wouldn't
don't
go that
know,
far.
bro.
I just think
AJ
there's
Brown's
outside of them, who's their third receiver?
Listen, every year you have, I think it's like an actual statistic. Every year, the past whatever
Nobody.
years, like there's 2 top
Yeah,
12
that's
receivers on the same team. Could totally be AJ Brown and Smitty,
Yeah.
like without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Could be Nico and Tank. Could be Nico and Tank.
Nico and
I mean,
Diggs.
I don't know how I feel about Diggs.
Not Diggs. Could be.
I don't know how I feel about Diggs. But,
Oh, you
Season.
Yep.
frick!
Yep, good pick.
Trunks goes with Kamara.
I had to
I think
take
he's
him
one
next.
of the more undervalued running backs.
Yeah, for
too,
sure.
personally.
See, this puts me in a real
Would you
bad
take
spot
Kamara
because
over
if I had Kamara
Yes.
as my 0 RB1, that would have been perfect.
Right.
But now that leaves me with Ken Walker, Aaron Jones, James Conner.
Oh,
I
G.
love Ken
Swift.
Walker.
I don't love Ken Walker.
Really?
not
I
a
think
Ken
he's
Walker
such a
guy.
good. I just think he's such a good player.
I like Ken Walker, the player. I don't like
Yeah.
Ken Walker, the situation that he's in.
I think Ken Walker is one of the biggest week winners or week wreckers in
That's
all
fair,
of fantasy
yeah.
football. So
See, since there's no one picking it, bro, if I would have gotten Kamara, I would have not even taken a running back next. Which
Yeah.
is
I probably would have done the same thing if
Yeah.
I were you. But now
Not
what do you
crazy.
do?
now I have to take. Now I feel like I have to take 2 running
TJ
backs.
Stroud and have 2 quarterbacks. That'd be a great.
It's
that'd
not
be a
super
great move.
flex.
No, it's not. It's not at all.
That'd be
super
awesome, man.
flex. Imagine he drafted him. He's like, yeah, I have the best team now.
I'm really between Ken Walker and Aaron Jones. The other guys are kind of irrelevant to me right now.
Let's see who else is on the board right now.
Connor, Monty.
Connor, Monty.
Yeah.
If you take James Conner, I feel like for me personally, I'd make Trey Benson a priority later in my draft. That's how I would feel if I take James.
As my Connor RB1, I'm not doing that.
That's
You know,
disgusting.
It's gross.
Connor RB1.
So do you force a running back here? Yeah, you
Ken
do.
Walker,
Okay.
yeah, I have to.
DK, George Pickens, CJ Stroud gets taken. Trey McBride.
I was gonna
first.
take Trey McBride on the turn.
I'd rather
Actually, the
just-
third
tight end off
yeah.
the board. Yeah, sorry. The first
Oh, I love
non-Kelsey.
Pickens. I love Pickens too.
I like Pickens a lot too.
Yeah.
I think he's
Dang.
gonna be a Cortland Sutton on steroids for Russell Wilson. So
Yeah, I think Pickens should have a really good year. I think
As-
his ADP right now is kind of perfect too. Like
I think so too.
I don't think he's really overvalued or really undervalued. I think like
Yeah.
5th roundish is kind of perfect for a guy like him.
Agreed. So how do you feel? Where are you going, Dean? Do you take one of the 2 tight ends and take 2 1 positions in the top 5 rounds? Do you do that? Create the advantage.
I mean, Tyreek and Ayuk is a strong starter receiver.
That's what I'm talking
oh, for
about.
sure.
So
So I think I'm gonna go Andrews because then I have Hurts, Andrews, Tyreek, Brandon Ayuk. I think that's a sick.
You were
4.
taking him.
I would have cried if.
So now do you take the other tight?
Mark Andrews
Oh,
is like
yeah.
one of my favorite people in fantasy football. Like I love that man.
So, unfortunately for me, I've already taken Drake London, and as much as I would love to have Kyle Pitts, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna pair up the 2 of them. So this one's tough because there's just not a running back that I necessarily love here. There is a quarterback that I definitely love here, but quarterback you could wait on. But you know what? QB1 overall,
Nice.
Anthony Richardson.
I was about to say he wasn't gonna make it back
No,
around.
there was a
Yeah,
0%
no
chance
shot.
he was going to fall to me. So
I'm in
take
quite a pickle here.
Tank Dell next. I was considering.
But if I get a clean bill of health from Joe Burrow, I think T. Higgins could be an absolute stud.
Especially in a contract year.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Fuck you, Team
Oh,
9.
Team 9 takes his boy.
No,
I probably
bro.
would have gone Pitts. My only thing is, first of all, I have Bijan, and then I don't want to go like super. I want to have like a strength at one spot. You know, like I don't want to go like all balance in the first 5 picks.
Yeah.
I was also between Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers, by the way.
Oh,
your
I'm
boy.
sick to my stomach.
But I
bro.
think I made the right decision going after
Well, you
the
took
tight
the
end.
number 1 target in that offense
So, like-
when healthy.
Yeah.
So
I have a question for you guys this Pete draft. So like because I'm drafting here from pick 11 in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
Am I just fucking supposed to reach on Kyle Pitts there? Because he's not gonna make it back to me at the
at
5'11.
the 4-2,
Nah.
No, right?
At
absolutely
4-2,
not.
no.
There's too many good players on the board.
Because I'm not
Yeah.
taking the other guys. Oh, like he's my tight end 1. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna take Trey McBride there just
Right,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah.
his range of being drafted. You know what I mean? Like Kyle Pitts is the one for me. So
I would say this: if you actually do what you do, feel that
He's-
strongly about Kyle Pitts,
I feel very strongly that he'll be the tight end 1.
then don't even take your chances and take him at the 4-2 because you value him that highly. Where would you draft
If you
the tight
do
end?
get the tight end 1 at 4-2,
Here's how I'll
yeah.
ask you: where would you draft the tight end 1? If you're guaranteed that this guy's going to be or in your mind you guarantee that this guy's going to be the tight end 1, where would you draft the tight end 1?
Probably in the beginning of
Way
the 4th
before
round,
that.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah,
before
that. Yeah.
So that's how I would look at things. If you feel that strongly about someone, you take them. So you don't even mess around and hope he falls to you.
Yeah. All right, Pete.
What? Go for it, Pete.
He was taken in like the 2nd round.
My boy, he was the first pick in the 2nd round.
Someone take Marvin Harrison. You didn't pick anyone, man.
You did take
Oh,
him.
okay.
There you go. Okay. That's
I
cool.
like George Kittle.
I don't know if I love him in the 5th round, but I don't hate him.
Yeah, I think it actually auto picked George Kittle, which is kind of
You
cool.
are on
Yeah,
auto.
it's on auto pick.
Yeah, you
Yeah, you got to
off.
turn off auto pick.
That's who you're gonna pick anyway.
Yeah.
All right,
that
so
worked.
All right,
Chris,
it worked.
first 2 rounds, you got 2 receivers, 2 running backs. You got a nice little balance going.
And clearly all the top tight ends are off the board.
Right.
Definitely have a nice balance going. The top tight ends are definitely off of the board. I mean, I think here the pick is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, Amari Cooper, yeah, he's going into his age 30 season,
yeah.
There
but
it is.
Yeah.
this is a guy who turned up at the end of last season. He won people their fantasy championships. What do you have? 40 points in the fantasy championship.
The
Oh,
Texans,
yes.
too.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
drop
think he had
50 against Texans?
52, honestly, or
I
something
mean,
like that.
yeah, he's going into his age
Take me
30
down.
season, but a lot of the guys on the board at this range anyway are older guys or rookie Romaduns who hasn't shown anything. So I'm going to go with the guy who I think is the best of these older guys and the guy who's the clear number one on his team. So I'm going to go with Coop here.
It's funny, Dean, because you traded me Amari Cooper mid-season only for me to then beat you with Amari Cooper.
And then I got
the
him
playoffs.
back after.
Team
Yeah.
12 really took DeAndre Swift and Keenan
So what do you
Allen
think
back to
about
back.
it? I
Kinda
trolled you.
wild.
You took Amari Cooper to beat me and then gave him back to me.
That's literally what happened.
Well, we made
Why do you keep trading with them?
Well, no, he beat me on this last trade that we just made, you said.
You won the championship, though, because of his trade.
No, but I'm talking about the Rasheed Rice one.
Yeah, I think.
well
that
getting
was a
Rasheed
good
Rice
trade.
for Amari Cooper at
But
the time
it's
was
just
good.
like,
Oh, my God. We made the almost exact.
We flipped it back.
You gave me Monty and Amari.
the thing is, though, it's going to work
And
in
picks.
your favor, just the way our dynasty
So
league
Rasheed-
goes. Like,
we flipped-
Rasheed Rice is going to be the greatest receiver of all time because he's on your team. That's
He's
how
my
it
fourth.
goes.
He's my fourth guy.
He's on my dynasty
Dean
team
trades
too,
you
so
guys,
I'm
and they
straight
become
with that.
gods.
Like
That is
who?
very true.
Like Amari Cooper, who won him a fantasy championship.
David Montgomery helped me there a lot, too. Oh, my God.
And Pittman.
You
Wow.
build dynasties.
I gave you CeeDee Lamb for
Yes. Oh,
Jameer
my
Gibbs.
God. Yes. For two firsts.
Yeah.
I
So-
gave Cooper Cup to who? I don't know.
Wasn't me. I got him from lab.
Off the Triple Crown. right?
No, I
John,
got
John.
I got Cup in
My cousin.
Jefferson
Yes,
deal.
my cousin.
Yeah, you gave
Yep.
it to John.
There you
What?
go.
John.
All right, Chris, what's your thought process here?
My thought process here is simple. I know I just took a receiver and I could go running back. There's two running backs at the top of the board who are very injury. I'm talking fast because I have 20 seconds. Very injury prone. I don't want them on my team. There's Christian Kirk, cool. Romadunze, rookie. He's the third wide receiver on his team. Don't want him. Joe Burrow, I'm good on that. David Montgomery, splitting carries with Jameer Gibbs. Don't want that. But Terry McLaurin, he's a god and he gets a quarterback upgrade. So pretty simple. I'm going to take Terry McLaurin there.
The only thing that scares me
Dang.
about Terry is if Brandon Ayuk gets traded there.
You're waiting another turn for QB tight end.
Indubitably.
I'm not going to lie to you. There's very much guys in the 7th and 8th round that I would be more than happy getting at quarterback and tight end.
Oh,
So-
absolutely.
So I don't think it's a bad strat to wait on one. Pete, who do you take here, bro? You have 2 ones positions now taken in Lamar Jackson and George Kittle. So quarterback and tight end are all done. You have 1 running back and you only have 2 receivers. So
I kind of fucked up because I wanted to take this guy, and I'll have to put him in flex.
what? You're gonna take a tight end for flex? You're that confident in this tight end over all these players here?
Tell me picks like Evan Ingram.
Wow.
Wow. Rookie rookie tight end.
To each their own, man.
I mean,
that's
if Brock Bowers gets used as a receiver
Wow.
the way he should, he might have a really good rookie season.
The Kittle
bro.
Bowers duo.
That's
Kittle
insane.
Bowers is insane.
That's
Taking
unlike
Kittle
anything I've ever
This is a
seen.
man who
D-
took Darren Waller in like the 3rd round of a draft.
You
I was
took
in
Kittle
last
with
year.
Debo
took him in
too.
the 4th.
That's really good.
Insane.
Yeah.
I really don't feel that way about drafting guys on the same team like you guys. You
I
guys
hate it.
seem to feel.
I don't know. I don't
really
think it's.
strong
I don't.
about
I don't
it.
think it's. I'm not crazy.
Okay,
I'm not
running back
like-
receiver. Okay, I get it. 2 receivers, bro. They're literally
That I hate.
literally fighting over targets. Literally, like when
I
I'm
guess. I mean, Tom just fucking went out and said that there's always a team that has 2 top 12 receivers. You know, like
It's true. No, it is true.
it's
You can look it up.
it's the NFL in 2024.
Yeah, but I'm
like
not
guys are
taking the-
if guys are that good, like they get their targets regardless. You
I
know what
don't
mean?
disagree with that, but it's also
I guess
the
like
Bears
on your
receivers.
team, yeah, they're like competing against each other.
It's also competing against Keenan now.
Well, yeah, no, the Bears receivers are different. I just mean in general. I'm not talking about anything specific.
Well, if you're taking
Yeah.
Devontae and AJ, that's
yeah,
fine.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
I
cool.
don't know. I'm just like I'm not gonna not draft a guy because I have one of his teammates already. That's
if
like
you're that high, if you're super
that's
high on
never
him,
yeah,
well,
that's
you know.
never
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything that like goes through my. If a guy's at the top of my board and like I'm up and he's there, like I'm gonna take him no matter who I took previously.
I'm gonna talk here real quick because I got 30 seconds. I took 2 running backs in the first 3 rounds, or else I would seriously consider James Conner because I have like a deep emotional attachment to James Conner in fantasy football. pretty much really helped win me a championship last year. But I think the Jags offense should be way better this year, and I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk. He was a top 12 wide receiver just 2 seasons ago. They had a bit of a down year last year, and I know they got Brian Thomas there, but Christian Kirk's gonna operate out of the slot more.
And Gabe
so,
Davis.
I don't give a shit about Gabe Davis. I genuinely don't give a shit about Gabe Davis. So, but I like Christian Kirk. I think the talent's there and the opportunity will be there too.
So for me right now, James Conner's definitely in my mind. I'm for sure thinking about having him as my RB2. David Montgomery's a little scary for me to have as my RB2, even though, he'll score a bunch of touchdowns probably. Rashee Rice, what's the suspension like?
Yeah, for sure. If he wasn't, I mean, he would have gone a lot sooner.
He would be going in the 3rd or 4th round if he
for
wasn't
sure.
getting suspended. Ramondre Stevenson on a bad Patriots offense. I love the player.
Yeah.
I really do. Oh, man.
He's got paid too.
He did. I know. So he's the guy. He's the guy there. And you know what? As my RB2, after taking Isaiah Pacheco, I feel bad. I feel good about it's Freudian slip. I feel bad about Ramondre Stevenson. But yeah,
slip.
so I take Ramondre. Never heard of that?
No.
It's when you say something that you didn't mean, but it might actually be true.
Sounds like a movie you'd use in bed. The Freudian slip. Babe, I'm about to hit you with the Freudian slip.
Sounds more like a WWE finisher.
It does. So does Trunks go with Connor? Oh, wait, he's taken 2 running backs already.
Yeah.
And a tight end. May need to take a receiver here. But does he? Or does he take the value on
Anytime I'm in a draft with Trunks, like some pick just falls in.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna punch you, dude. Oh, you're talking to him?
Yeah, I mean, you don't force it if you don't like
Connor's good
the
there.
receivers on the board. Would you have taken Ramondre over James Conner or no? James Conner over Ramondre. Okay.
Give me Chris Godwin. I think he's gonna have a good year.
I like Chris Godwin.
And then David Montgomery goes there.
That's fine.
I'll
Oof, this is real tough.
Rasheed Rice, Dak, Jaden Reed, David Montgomery.
Like I wish I could have just gotten Kamara before, because now I feel like I'm screwed.
feel like you have to kind of force a running back pick.
Yeah, every running back pick feels forced.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah, those are not fun.
Never fun.
Never fun. The Najee
And-
Harris pick is never fun.
No,
Like-
it's not.
You're sitting there-
That staring in my
Bro,
face as
like-
RB2
like I was-
is
like
honestly killing my
So
soul.
I was in my dynasty draft real quick, and I'm looking, and I'm like, bro, this guy's had 1,000 yards every season he's in the league, but it's just the ugliest 1,000 yards you'll
gross.
ever see. And now Arthur Smith is
Arthur
there.
Smith.
So that man, I wanted to actually like kill him last year because I had Bijan Robinson.
I
in
mean,
my leagues.
I'm going Zamir White.
Wow.
I'd rather that than deal with Najee and,
Wow.
and Jalen Warren.
So what is the consensus over here on Zamir White? How do we feel?
um,
Because I don't know how to feel about Zamir White at all.
I mean, I think there's a bunch of guys going in his range of the draft that
You would rather have.
that are guaranteed to be the RB1 as things stand right now. I mean, this is a guy who is going to see all of the work
Right.
as a running back for the Las Vegas Raiders. So
and it's gonna be dirty, ugly, nasty work, but
I
it's
mean,
work.
I like to draft guys that I feel like it's a sure thing that I know they're going to get touches. So Zamir White's like a guy that I definitely
interesting.
would want on my team because I think he's going to see the ball.
I would agree with that.
I'm always a fan of talent over situations.
I mean,
in
bro,
a lot of situations.
Rashad White.
Not that
was
he's a bad player, but
no, Rashad
yeah.
White was a top 5 running back last year,
So
based
disgusting.
solely off of opportunity.
Right, and he's not better than James
Yeah,
Cook,
he's
Joe
not a
Mixon,
good
Alvin
running-
Kamara, Ken
he's a
Walker.
bad
yeah,
running
Yeah,
back.
Bro, he's not
exactly.
even better than the dudes. He's not better than Ramondre.
Right, he's not better than Ramondre.
Connor.
He's not better than
Bad
James
running
He's
Conner.
not better than Bucky Irving.
He's not better than Monty.
Yeah,
They
no.
don't want to tell you that though.
All right, so
Irving.
Bucky's coming.
I hope he does.
now I'm here, and
Like Captain America.
this is the back end of where I'm comfortable taking it. That was insane. That sounded crazy. The back end of where I'd want to take a tight end. So it comes down to Evan Ingram, David Njoku, and Jake Ferguson in my personal preference. Oh man, this is nasty. I like Jake Ferguson the player. I like Evan Ingram the player. I don't like how David Njoku's used when Deshaun Watson's the quarterback.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, and Njoku sucks.
I
when Watson's
love
there.
David Njoku the player.
Yeah.
If you were guaranteeing me Joe Flacco, I would take Njoku and not even
Right.
think twice. With that being said, Evan Ingram last season, I think they've turned me into an Evan Ingram fan, to be quite honest. Because last season
Bro,
he was
look
the
at
tight
the
end
target
too.
share, bro.
And 143 targets last year, 98
Come
the
on,
year
man.
prior.
It's an obvious pick for you.
It's either he or Jake
Crazy.
Ferguson. And
That's not
with all
even a-
that being said about Evan Ingram, I'm taking Jake Ferguson.
Wow.
Because
Oh, you
he's the
suck.
two
Because now
on-
I fucked up last round, and I should have taken Ingram here, and I should have taken someone else. I couldn't. You sniped him.
You did snipe him.
You went fucking back-to-back tight ends. Who saw that coming?
Gotta keep them on their toes. bro.
Jesus Christ. I was just talking about how ugly and disgusting the Najee Harris pick is, but
At least you
here,
have two guys
here I
ready.
am.
I also have
You don't
a
have to start
vendetta
him,
against
which is
Evan
good.
Ingram, by the way. I have
What?
a personal vendetta against Evan Ingram.
Bro, I watched that man like lose us like 4 games in
Yep.
one season.
Personal vendetta.
Like-
I don't care.
Couldn't catch a fucking football to save
At least he learned how to play football.
He's really
he
good
sure
now.
did. Yeah, he definitely did. It's pretty impressive.
Most NFL guys don't stick around long enough to see their career turn around.
He was never
Damn,
a horrendous player with the Giants.
But
He
usually
just
guys like
dropped the
that-
ball in bad times.
Okay, but usually guys like that kind of just get benched and they don't really ever
Yeah.
see the field again.
I guess Jacksonville saw something.
I'm gonna go with a guy that catches passes from Patrick Mahomes and hope he finds some consistency. And I haven't drafted him like in any of my mock drafts,
Refused.
I love that Sleeper changed his name to Hollywood.
but Hollywood Brown. Yeah, you got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. You're gonna score touchdowns.
All right, buddy.
You should score
So,
touchdowns.
are you in the David Njoku market, or are you drafting a different position now?
I think he likes hockey socks. That's what he told me.
the fuck was that?
So, do you take a third tight end in a row, or are you now moving on to?
You take a
positions
backup
that you kinda
quarterback.
need?
I don't know, bro. I hear Tyler Conklin's gonna have a good one.
You could definitely take someone here, Pete. And maybe.
Oh, why didn't you just take Evan Ingram, bro? You fucked everything. No, because the computer wouldn't have fucking
Would never
taken
taken
Jake
Jake
Ferguson. Now I don't
Right.
have either of them.
Yeah.
So freaking corny, man.
Yeah, you really suck for that because it really threw my whole
It did
Christian
fuck
Kirk
up the
pick
whole
out
thing.
the
That's
window.
that's who I would take there.
'Cause I
Wait,
could've
so
gone
you
like
didn't pick
Godwin.
Evan Ingram because you have Christian Kirk as your wide receiver 4 on your team?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
See, that's where I probably
That's
draw the line.
crazy.
When you put it
That's
like
where I
that,
probably
when you
draw
put
the
it like
line.
that, yeah, that is kind of crazy. That's fair
Bro, if
enough.
that's your guy at tight end, you fucking draft him, bro.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean, me
kinda right.
personally, I mean, you do whatever you.
I mean,
you,
yeah,
you've
obviously.
won a
Wide
fantasy
receiver
football
4.
championship. I haven't, so
Fair enough.
you know, my opinions don't really.
You've never won a
matter, but
championship?
No,
Ever?
never ever
Who are you
Wow.
taking, Pete?
until this year.
I'm sorry, bro.
Wow. Okay.
I think I only have
I was
3
hoping
not
he
gonna
fell.
lie.
I was hoping he fell to be on the
Yeah,
swing.
I was considering taking Zach Moss.
I was actually going to take him.
I
on
think
the
he's gonna be
swing
so
back.
good this year.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Pretty simple pick for me here. He's the last of the elite fantasy quarterbacks left that has ample rushing upside.
Yep.
Just got a new toy to play with, a new weapon to play with, Mr. Marvin. So if it gets me close to Marvin, I'm there for it because I love Marvin so much. So I'm going to go with Kyler here.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say
that-
you're gonna have a Kyler Marvin stack in probably every single league.
So I
If you- if you
personally
can.
think that there's in the 7th and 8th round, there might be the most value on quarterbacks, to be honest. Jordan Love and Kyler Murray are legitimate QB1 like top tier quarterback 1 options in my personal opinion that are in the 7th and 8th round.
Yep.
So it's not always a bad idea to wait a little bit on the QB.
Yeah.
So
And then coming back around, Mostert and Pollard went. My pick probably would have been Mostert if he made it to me, but he didn't. I'm going to go for an upside swing here. I'm going to go with a guy who should see a shit ton of targets and should be Justin Herbert's number 1 wide receiver. I'm going to take Lad McConkey here. Yeah. Say I'm cocky. And I say, what?
there it is. All right. Jordan Addison just free falling. I'm glad that the CPU knows.
Did I mess up taking Keon ahead of Lad in our dynasty draft?
I personally
I think
do
so.
believe so, yes. I think Lad is a sure thing, if healthy. And I think Keon is less of a sure thing.
Yeah.
I just like Keon's.
Upside,
Yeah.
which is fair. You bet on
I
upside.
feel like Lad doesn't have like superstar upside.
I think he has Julian Edelman upside.
Okay, but I feel like Keon has better than Julian Edelman upside.
Yeah, but the Chargers are such a dumpster fire that like the role
That's the
that,
problem, though.
Yeah, but the role that Lad McConkey is going to be in this year, where he's going to be the number one target. I'd be shocked if he doesn't lead the team in targets.
Brendan Rice.
That role that he's going to be in, like he could be in that role for years. You know what I mean? Like the Chargers could
Like a
just fuck
Keenan
up.
Allen
Like
role.
the Keenan
Yeah.
Allen role? Yeah.
Yes. And like
Yeah.
that could be the Chargers' number one target.
Yeah.
Whoever's in that role for years to come, if they don't
Keon may be.
figure out some outside receivers.
Especially
Keon
with,
might be touchdown dependent. I feel like too.
here's how I'll put it. Roman Wilson in the Michigan offense was the guy there. I think Lad could kind of play a similar role to that. So
Yeah.
Pete takes D Hop.
So I
Jordan
fumbled. I
Love
guess.
goes off the board. That was probably gonna be my pick.
Who's
he
that?
definitely did.
I think Diop will have a big year, especially adding Calvin Ridley there to take some attention off of him, and he's not the only guy. I think it'll be a little bit easier for him.
Who are they
So-
running out there? Traylon Burks and
Yeah.
D-Hop
Traylon's
last year?
cooked. Tyler Boyd's their third receiver now.
And
They signed
he
him.
showed like some type of
God
like,
bless you.
he
They-
showed some type of rapport with Will Levis. I think there was that one game where he
He
had
had
three
three
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
So, like,
Yeah.
they had something in the works there. So I like D Hop in fantasy this year. Fair enough.
Nah, don't worry, bro.
So
So-
he really did it for D Hop.
I was really thinking of going Jordan Love there if he fell to me, but he didn't, so I can't. But
a run of receivers.
and I really wanted to take one of the onesie positions here, but I'm looking at the board and every team ahead of me has a quarterback and a tight end except for Trunks. He's missing a quarterback, so I'm gonna play that game, and I'm gonna swing for the fences, take an upside pick here. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Brooks because I
glad
think
you read the board.
you got
Smart
it, man. You got it on the real draft day. You got to read the board.
Also, I think another one of the most overvalued guys in fantasy
Nick
football, Javonte Williams.
Nick Chubb.
I will not touch Javonte Williams in fantasy
I'm
football
good.
this year. I'm
Well,
good
they're
on
saying
that
he might not even make the roster.
one. Yeah,
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
yeah.
Javante
it's rough.
Williams.
So Chubb was just squatting like 700 pounds, like a week ago.
I just think
but that doesn't mean much,
right.
But
I'm
it's
not
also like,
drafting
I'm
him.
not drafting Nick
but
Chubb.
it's also Nick Chubb. So
But if anyone is gonna, if anyone's gonna do it,
remember when Adrian Peterson tore his ACL,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Nick Chubb decided to come back. I mean, Adrian Peterson
Peterson?
decided to come back and be the greatest running back of all time.
Yep.
Yeah, but Adrian Peterson did that after tearing his ACL once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb has now torn the same ACL,
Same ACL.
and MCL now in the same knee.
yeah.
It was nasty,
Gross.
bro.
Gross,
God,
dude.
we were watching that at Hobra.
Yes, it was nasty,
What was that?
bro.
Real bad. Nick Chubb this past
When he
year.
got hurt last
Oh
year.
yeah.
That
So
shit was gross.
I'll
Well,
walk
one of
you through
his
my.
injury at Georgia was crazy too.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
nasty.
bad. It was also a bad one. He's had two bad
It's a
ones.
miracle if that dude even gets back on a football field. I'm not even gonna count.
I love Nick Chubb though. One of the fucking best dudes.
Like,
in
I know
the entire
medicine's
NFL, too.
advanced.
He should just
nowadays,
retire,
but
bro. Go out
Why
while
are
you
you
can.
playing? That's when. Why would you even come back?
He might be one of those guys that like retires after trying to go through training camp and rehab and stuff, though.
By the way, I think this is one of the worst rounds in all fantasy football. I think it's absolutely disgusting because all the players here suck, and I'm not comfortable drafting them. With that being said, I could take an upside shot, I guess, and I know a guy that demands targets on the board right now. Brand new to the offense. Hopefully Dave Canales turns it all around. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson.
I like that pick a lot. It's a great pick.
So, as my wide receiver 4 in fantasy for redraft, I feel pretty comfortable with that. So,
Trunks has stolen my pick twice in a row on the turn.
can he do it again?
So yeah, can he
Is he
make it?
going for a third?
third time's the
Can he
charm?
make it a third?
Can he do it
Could
once
you
again?
guess who I want? I don't know.
Okay.
Ugh.
There we go. Trunks says
If you think I want that freaking tortoise at running back,
Tortoise is
Tortoise is
crazy.
nuts.
There's
freaking
Yo.
Bowser over here, bro.
So is Eck washed or was he just injured?
He's washed.
probably,
He's
right?
washed.
I think he's washed.
He was never.
All that fast in the first place.
Yeah, and he got even, bro. That I'm sorry, that video of him running, that was so bad.
funny.
That was so bad.
It's like a 76 speed at running back in NCAA.
Yeah.
Like you're not going nowhere.
Like a receiving back that can't even. I don't know.
He's just going there to be JD.
He's gonna block on third downs and catch a bunch of passes.
And I like Eckler as like a dude. I don't know if you guys have ever heard him talk, but like he's a good dude.
Amazing.
Loves fantasy
he's just
football, too.
washed. He's just
Absolutely
washed.
Loves fantasy.
He's gonna have a
football.
podcast when he retires.
Hope
He's
so.
one of those guys. I think he'll definitely.
What if he just
go on.
loses all his career earnings betting on fantasy football?
Eckler? Well, doesn't he already do a podcast?
He might. I
He
don't
does
know.
a fantasy football podcast.
Does he
with
actually?
Yahoo, yeah.
Wow, I didn't
pretty
know
sure.
that. Didn't know
He
that.
sounds like he was a big old frat guy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
does
for sure,
a
he definitely
fantasy.
was.
I'm
Where'd he go to
pretty sure he
school?
does a fantasy football podcast.
Where'd Eckler go?
Oh,
Anyone know?
it's a
Somewhere in
low
place.
D1 school.
Really?
Very low D1 school. All right, go for it, Chunks. Who you got? Who do you think Dean is taking is the real question here.
Yeah, that's what
That's
he's
your
deciding.
pick. That's your pick.
Western Colorado University is
Yes,
where
there
Austin Eckler went.
Ew.
Western Colorado's crazy.
Western.
Brian
Western
Thomas.
Colorado.
That is disgusting. But
Why?
I see the upside.
Nah, there's definitely upside there.
If you
huge
drafted
upside
Trevor
there.
Lawrence's, there's a world where that's Trevor Lawrence's #1 receiver this year, and you drafted him in the 8th round.
I don't know about that.
I'm not a Keon guy year one.
Not a
I'm
Keon
not a
guy
big
year one
Keon
either,
guy.
but he's
No,
all
why
in
would
on
we be
Keon,
auto
so-
I
drafting?
have to be.
No, we're gonna
We'll do a
finish it
couple
out.
other bench.
Devin Singletary, 9th round, is great value.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. I think Devin Singletary is one of the most undervalued players in all of fantasy football right now too. So
Man, somebody's got to get the ball, and he's not a bad running back.
So why are you at? Okay, I know I'm harping on this because he's on my team. I don't care. I'm asking questions. Why are you out on Keon? He's
I'm not
wide
out
receiver
on Keon
one
Coleman.
for year one. There's nobody else there. Khalil Shakir.
It's not true though. Dalton Kincaid was a guy who they drafted in the 1st round who's going to demand targets. We
Okay.
just talked about how James Cook is going to get targets out of the backfield. They brought in Curtis Samuel, who is a Joe Brady guy.
Yep.
Curtis Samuel is going to be like a focal part of the offense.
He's not more talented than.
I don't think he is more talented than Keon Coleman. I'm
But
just saying in
Keon-
year one, there's other guys who are more established NFL players. This is a guy in Keon Coleman who knows if he's going to put it all together.
I think Keon's raw.
So there's
Yeah,
also
he's a great
really raw.
athlete and he has great size.
raw
but
athlete.
we've seen many raw
Athlete.
athletes come to the NFL and just not be successful.
Yeah,
I don't think he won't. Like I don't know how to feel about him. You know.
yeah,
he's
gonna
not
prove
one of
Royal
the
wrong.
guys that I think steps into the. I think he's closer to, right now at this current moment. I hate to say it, but I think he's closer to N'Keal Harry than he is to DK Metcalf, which is what you want Keon to be. Like ideally, you probably want Keon to be.
He
a
could
DK.
come in and just be Josh Allen's favorite
Yeah,
target.
he's
Like, that's
6'4",
not-
215.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
not
what his
how-
40 time
Athlete,
was,
like
but it
four-
was
he ran a
yeah.
4.61.
Yeah,
And if
He's not
that
fast.
happens,
Yeah,
like
okay.
then
Not
you
fast.
win fantasy.
Y'all
You know
gonna
what I
see.
mean? If
Y'all
he
gonna
hits,
see.
if he hits in year one, you win.
All right, I'm going to talk through my process real quick. David Njoku's still dropping, by the way. So Christian Watson, he's a great upside bet at this point in the draft. I mean, it's ridiculous that he's even a 9th round pick. I get it. There's obvious downside
He's
to
so
him.
goddamn
Trey
good, though.
Benson, almost guaranteed to have at least 5 games of starting just because of James Conner. And honestly, I could probably use the running back. Am I taking a handcuff option with limited upside in terms of if James Conner stays healthy? Yes, but I could use the running back right now. And I was thinking of Christian Watson, but I don't.
Team 6,
ultimately
you
end up taking
motherfucker.
him.
You have Travis Kelce, and we're taking David Njoku in the 9th round. Fucking assholes.
I'm dead.
Oh, that
That's
sucks.
amazing.
That was
That's
that
amazing.
was literally like I was like, damn, I missed out on Ingram, but if I get Njoku 3 rounds later, I would have been hyped. But I guess I can go fuck myself. So see now I'm gonna pick
Getting
him
real
because
tough.
You've taken a lot of receivers.
I know, and
you
I
have no ones positions. Okay, wow.
I know, yeah, that's
At
fine.
this point in the
I'm
draft,
all right with that. No, it's okay. So I didn't want to take a tight end here. I really do want to take Christian Watson, but I see Chris doesn't have a tight end. Team 12 doesn't have a tight end.
Yo,
So
take the upside bet.
yeah, I think that's where I'm. I don't know.
Do it. Do it, and then take a shittier tight end later.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I'm gonna take Mr. Hawkinson
There
there.
it is.
I think
Like
he
at this
could-
point in the draft,
yeah,
bro.
In the 9th round, yeah, we'll be all right.
I also don't hate Dallas Goedert, but
Yo,
That was-
oh my god, that was vicious.
Pete, you're up.
as he shits.
I was
himself.
definitely
He shits
thinking
himself.
Goddard for the safe floor, but nah, give me upside. No, I don't want Goddard. Brother, you have Kittle and Bowers.
So Pete has 3 receivers on his roster, 2 running backs and 2 tight ends, and a quarterback.
He
Cool.
sees a name here.
It's definitely
Starts
Dallas
with
Goedert.
Dalton and ends with Schultz.
Oh, that one too. That one too for sure.
Schultz is tough, man, because he's such a good player in a great offense. But
Brother,
just look
Too
at the
many
board.
guys. Too many guys.
Yes.
He's right there. Yeah, too many guys.
Tom, you still don't have a quarterback. I'm intrigued.
I'm
where you
fine
go.
with that, bro.
Who's he about to pick? Who's he about to pick?
Jacoby Myers, you took.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? That's disgusting.
So here
you know
for
who we
me-
did that with, right? Jimmy Garoppolo. Is Jimmy Garoppolo there anymore? No, sir. No, sir. Jacoby also is on a bad offense now, buddy. Shit offense.
You took Jacoby Myers.
So Tom mentioned that I still don't have a tight end, and the board fell perfectly for me here. I'm getting a guy who was a top 10 tight end last year, plus he re-signed this year. So clearly they have future plans for this guy to be a part of their offense. A guy who's going to see 75% of the snaps. We know he's a red zone target, so he could even give you 6 points on a game like he did in the playoffs this past year. Bear with me. Against the Browns, where he had 2 targets, 1 reception, but he scored a tud. So he could give you 6 points on 1 reception. So
Well,
I'm going to go with, and like I mentioned, sign the contract. Love drafting guys who are coming off contract extensions
Yeah.
because it shows that the team has a plan for them. So I'm going to go with Dalton Schultz here. Not my ideal tight end target, but no, team 12.
Gus Edwards.
Why?
Gus Edwards. Yep.
Why would they do that? Okay.
Gus Edwards is a rough
They
one.
want that running back
I was-
depth, man.
I was looking at Gus Edwards potentially.
Yeah,
falling
that
to me.
put a damper in my plans, but I'm going to probably reach here. I just want the running back depth on my team. I don't have a bench running back. I don't really have a bench at all. I'm going to go with Zeke here. I think
motherfucker.
this is a guy who's playing on one of the more prolific offenses in the NFL. You know the Cowboys are going to get up and down and score points, and
Yeah.
I think he's the clear goal line back at minimum for that offense.
You
So
hear he might get cut?
no, I didn't hear that.
He might get
All
cut.
right, I'll take someone else then.
But I
mean,
don't know that.
Where did you see that? though?
I think it was on Cowboys Twitter that he's just not good anymore, and they don't know if they want him. But I mean, look, realistically, they can't. They just can't. He's going to be on the
He
roster.
was like, not that it.
They're
not that
not
it's
going
like
to
a-
cut him.
Not
He's
that it's
gonna
like
be on the
an
roster.
impressive ranking, but this man was the RB 30
Yeah,
as the second running back on the Patriots last season.
he's making the roster. I
Yeah.
have zero doubt he's making. Rico Dowdle is the only other fucking running back on their roster right now that, aside from Deuce Vaughn, but Deuce Vaughn. I don't hate the Zeke pick at this point, but
I'm gonna go with Brian Robinson instead.
I
I'm not
actually
worried about
really
no
like a
loss today.
Zeke pick right now.
Huh?
I think he's gonna be scoring a lot of touchdowns. Zeke.
Oh,
I think he gets the vet goal line touches, bro.
you know what? By the time fantasy drafts roll around,
We'll
we'll
know.
know if he's cut or not. So right now he's not cut. I'm gonna take Zeke.
You guys
think
really,
Zeke's
you guys
getting
really
cut?
talked him out of Zeke
what
and then
he
talked
just
him
said.
back
into
into
Zeke.
He just said that Cowboys Twitter. is saying that
Some of
Zeke's
Cowboys
getting
Twitter
cut.
said Zeke was getting cut,
Actually,
but it wasn't necessarily reliable sources. So it's there he is, Brian Robinson. Do you take a quarterback now?
So the thing is, like,
There's an
in
upside
a
swing here.
real draft, I don't think anyone's going to take him in the next couple rounds, but I know how these mock drafts go. These computers are going to take a backup quarterback.
Yes,
So
they do.
there is an upside swing here, but I'm not going with that.
Ooh.
I'm going with Mr. Longhair himself, Trevor Lawrence from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So I like Trevor a lot this year. Adam's my QB 10. But if you're waiting this long, sometimes I feel like swing for the fences and then maybe
go
take
for
a guy
Jaden
later
Daniels.
and take Jay.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm looking at Trevor, and we think he had they had a down year as a whole. I mean, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, not great, and he was quarterback 13. Like, he was
Yeah.
just outside a quarterback 1. So all he has to do is be better than that, and I'm taking him in the 10th round.
I'm crying.
Like,
People are posting like on Twitter like Trevor Lawrence like fumbling and like throwing interceptions,
Just
and the
leave him
caption is because you know what they've been saying about
there. Comparing him
Trevor.
to Daniel Jones.
No, but they've been saying how it's not his fault. His receivers dropped the passes, blah, 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 which I do agree with. But they're posting like him fumbling the ball and him throwing a pick and saying, can't believe this guy didn't come down with that catch.
There is that like 2-3 minute video long of like his receivers not having their feet in bounds.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. His receivers sold the shit out of it, but it was just funny that people.
He probably would have had like 3 or 4 more touchdowns.
Bro,
5
he
more
was
touchdowns.
like the QB 12, I want to say, last year or something like that.
Yeah.
He might have even
13.
been higher.
Yeah.
Remember when I threw him in a trade with you too?
Brian Robinson is gonna.
Very happy I got him.
For Eckler.
That was a crazy trade, by the way.
Brian
I got a
Thomas.
lot.
Yeah.
Brian
Okay.
Thomas.
I was like,
Yeah.
wait a
No,
minute.
Brian
It was
Robinson.
it was for Eck.
Real quick,
Brian Thomas is gonna cook.
Curtis Samuel. Simple as that. Joe Brady, best season of his career with him, and there you go. Curtis Samuel's my wide receiver 5 on this team. Is kind of crazy. So
I'm curious to see how they're gonna use him.
me too.
Because Curtis Samuel is like, obviously you can't really compare anyone to Debo, but
Walmart,
Curtis Samuel has that like
Walmart
Debo too, to where he's like, he's just a weapon. Like, you just want to get that guy the ball. It doesn't matter how you get him the ball, but you just want to put the ball in that guy's hands, and normally good things happen. So
Trunks, you feel good about Cortland Sutton, or there's just nobody else you really want here? There you go. Okay,
Trunks,
I figured.
I've learned. I think Trunks is a big name
This is
value
late
guy.
for a guy like Cortland
likes
Sutton.
names.
Like, I know there's no quarterback there, but like Cortland Sutton had some games last year. Like,
Bro, he had
was,
some of the like craziest touchdown catches.
Yeah,
I
he
like
was
Cortland Sutton, the player.
he was
Right.
good for fantasy last year. I don't know. I think
And what if he
he's
gets
a guy-
traded midseason?
Like, at this point in the draft,
That
I
could be
think
huge.
he's a guy who's just reliable, and plus, like you mentioned, there's the potential where he could go to a better situation.
yeah, I mean, if you're staring at Cortland Sutton or Tyler Lockett,
Okay, Chase Brown.
I went Lockett, Chase Brown. I was between Chase Brown and Jerome Ford, honestly.
So why Chase Brown over Jerome Ford?
I just don't think Jerome Ford's good. First of all, do I think
I
Nick
don't
Chubb's
agree
going
at
to
all.
play? I don't like Ford.
Yeah, I think
I don't,
he's not spectacular. He's nothing crazy. He's not Nick Chubb.
and I don't like what's his name in
Zach Moss.
yeah. I don't think he's a starting running back.
That's the reason.
I don't think he's a starting running back at all.
Jerry
I
Judy.
don't know. I think Zach Moss was so good last year for the Colts to where like it would take a lot for Chase Brown to take that job from him. Whereas in Cleveland, like I really sincerely doubt in my heart that Nick Chubb will be ready for week 1.
So that's exactly
like I don't care what the reports say. Like this is a guy who's coming off his second like major ACL tear. Like this isn't no like walk in the park ACL tear. Like that shit was fucking torn to shreds for the second time.
Even
so.
if Nick Chubb is superhuman, it ain't. We've already seen in the past that these guys take half the season to recover.
Right,
usually.
right. Even if he is ready,
Give me
for week
8
1.
games of Jerome Ford.
I agree.
I'm fine with
you
that.
son of a bitch.
Because we saw last year, even though Jerome Ford like isn't talented, if you don't think he's
Jerome
that
Ford.
talented, like he's still
He has games.
Yeah, he's gonna be productive in fantasy if he's the guy.
Yeah.
No.
I think I like Charbonnet a lot actually. The player.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to get him from you, Dean.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't draft a running back in the second round and never use him.
More
So I'm gonna take Charbonnet there for sure.
Talent, but why would they go with
I think
the newer?
Ken Walker is the more explosive of the two. I think Zach Charbonnet is the more reliable of the two backs.
He's better in between the tackles for sure.
Yes.
Consistently.
Yes. I could rely on Zach Charbonnet to get me a tough 3 yards. I'm not relying on Ken Walker to do that. But, like, obviously in fantasy football, you want the upside. I'm just saying an injury to Ken Walker, I'm taking 18 to 25 touches of Zach Charbonnet.
Ken Walker's more of a superstar level player, like star player level player. Sharbs is like a very technically sound,
Yeah.
Ken Walker's
polished.
college highlights are so nuts,
crazy, bro. Crazy.
He was cooking, bro.
Ken Walker is gonna be one of those guys that retires with a nasty highlight reel.
Yes.
I'm like you. I
love Ken
love
Walker.
Ken
I think
Walker,
he's
bro.
amazing.
I think he has it.
Yeah, I
He's
totally
good.
agree.
I think he's just not consistent enough for me.
It's tough to.
Well,
be
they have a new,
consistent with the Seahawks O line,
New coaching
bro.
staff, right?
You going what?
What there?
In Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Maybe
So
brought
that's
in
my
Mike
thing with
McDonald
Charbonnet
and-
is like these guys didn't draft
They
him,
brought
so
in
maybe they go
Ian
Ken
Porter.
Walker more if
Who's
they
the
like
receiver?
him.
I don't know. We were the guy
looked
from
it up.
Washington. The guy from Washington.
Oh, yeah.
We were
Ryan
looking it
Grubb.
up the other
Ryan
day,
Grubb.
yeah.
Ryan Grubb. There it is. The Washington offensive coordinator with Michael Penix and
Okay,
At
he's
that
new,
point.
right?
never coached in the NFL in his career.
Yeah, we looked this up the other day. He has no NFL coaching
Dang.
experience.
None.
Not as.
And he's the OC in Seattle.
Yep.
He's got a lot of weapons.
Was he just
to play
somebody's
with.
nephew?
Wow.
He
was
does
the
have a very
OC
similar
at
situation
Washington.
to
Okay.
to
like
Washington.
with
to be
Penix
honest.
and all them guys.
Oh,
Gino's
yeah.
the starter this year again.
Gino's the starter again.
Not for long.
For now.
Sam Howell's the
For now.
backup. Man.
Not for long.
Sam Howell.
Who you taking, Pete? Go ahead and take him.
Yo, Sam Howell won me some money,
Gabe
bro.
Davis, huh?
Sam Howell won me some money.
What
bro.
did he finish? QB what?
He finished high in QB
He
in
did.
fantasy. He was like he was top 10.
Sam
He
Howell?
threw like
Yeah.
20 picks.
He's like fucking QB 5.
Yeah, he was
12.
top 10. Yeah.
Really?
12.
But he was
12?
up there pretty high for a while.
But in points per game, he was up there quite
got
a bit.
Points per
yeah.
game, he was.
he got
16
benched towards the end of the season.
So
right?
Yeah,
Pete went
maybe
with Gabe
he fell
Davis.
off, yeah, I guess.
This pick for me in the 11th round, it's easy. You were just talking about Zach Charbonnet as a good handcuff option. God forbid Ken Walker gets hurt. I see a guy who might be the RB1 on the depth chart regardless, but the guy in front of him is going into the season hurt. Like you just mentioned, guys are going to take some time to come back from torn ACLs. Listen, I might not be getting this guy as the RB1 for a full year, but if I could get 8 games out of him to start the season, I'm going to go with Chuba Hubbard here.
I love Chuba at this point in the
This
draft.
is, I feel like the value there, like, you just can't. He's
don't-
going to go into the season.
Is Jonathan
as the
Brooks
RB1.
hurt?
Yeah,
Jonathan Brooks tore
tore
his ACL like
last year.
late
Yeah.
in the college season.
I didn't know that.
Coming back this season with the torn ACL.
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, another guy that it's gonna
Yeah.
at least take half the season for him to come back.
And then coming back around to me, Aaron Rodgers and Khalil Shakir go. Again, another one of my favorites. I kind of end my drafts the same way. You guys know how I feel about this guy. I think he's just going to be a target hog with Anthony Richardson, just working that underneath. Obviously, there's going to be the explosive plays with Indy's offense with an Adonai Mitchell. Obviously, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, all those guys, Michael Pittman, a lot of downfield explosive stuff. But the guy who's going to be working the underneath, and in PPR, we love guys who get targets. So I'm going to go with Josh Downs, my fucking dog.
Mm.
Had a super productive rookie year, went super under the radar, too.
There it is.
And especially with A-Rich, like Josh Downs came onto the scene too, like early on when A-Rich was still healthy and he was still like super involved. So.
He fell out of favor for whatever reason
With
in that
Minshew,
offense.
yeah.
No, Minshew targeted him a bit too early on, but it was just I don't know what happened. He just started playing less.
Oh, like this is a rookie who's coming off a guy going into his second year, coming off a 98 targets,
Yeah,
68
he's a good
reception,
player.
770 yard season.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
I like Downs.
I'll take that at this point. And if that's his floor,
Where did I go?
Solid but unspectacular. Yeah.
if his floor is 70 receptions and 700 yards, like I'll take that.
I mean, you would hope he
Oh,
stays.
come on, teammate. Don't fuck with me.
stays
like
yeah,
that.
obviously
his
it could
offense.
get worse, but
Oh,
I wonder if
would've
AD
loved
takes anything
some fry meat here.
immediately early on. I'm
I
curious.
don't think
with
he's
that.
going to take anything from
Not
him
under.
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pittman is that possession guy too, though. It's tough. I have
Well,
no idea.
Downs is going to be the slot guy. Adonai Mitchell theoretically should just slide into Alec Pierce's role.
Yes, I would assume so.
Adonai Mitchell can't work the underneath of
No,
the
he-
field
that's
like
not
Josh
his
Downs
thing.
can. Yeah, so
Not even
I
close.
think Josh Downs is like locked into a role. You know what I
That's
mean?
why AD's scary, man. He could be a great pickup for the Colts offense, kind of how Alec Pierce was just there to stretch the field.
Man, it's just those guys that are like super fast and like are there to stretch the field. They're just so like how many of those guys really hit? Like Deshaun Jackson. Like how many of those guys really hit? You know what I mean?
Especially the huge guys too.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean-
Huge deep threats, not like DK is the most recent.
Mike
I know you
Evans?
said it.
Mike Evans wasn't a deep threat coming out of college,
Yeah.
though. Well, he was. Obviously, he was.
He
but
became one.
He was a great receiver, just period. He was an elite prospect as a whole.
Like AD Mitchell was a great athlete.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a
Um,
trying to
raw
think-
athlete.
I'm trying to think if there are guys like that.
DK Metcalf's really like the one.
only
Even
one.
AJ Brown, if you want to
Yeah.
like AJ Brown
That's a good
came
one.
out very like he wasn't polished. You know what I mean?
But
So-
those guys are also built very different.
Yeah, they're
physically.
freaks of nature. Like AD Mitchell was
He's not as big as DK
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
AD Mitchell is like a 1% of human being athlete, but like he's not in a
I
tier of
actually think
DK.
Trey
What about, like, a
Lance might
GW?
work out.
so I got 20 seconds here.
Garrett Wilson.
Real quick.
AD Mitchell?
I'm gonna take some insurance because
Not as like
Hawkinson.
twitchy.
yeah, he's
I'm gonna take some insurance because Hawkinson's hurt. I don't know how to say his last name, but rookie for the Commanders.
Ben
He's
Sinnott.
competing. Ben Sinnott. He's competing with Zach Ertz for a starting job. For
Take him quick. There you go.
Jaden Daniels, and I need a guy that's gonna get some targets, so I'll take him there.
Okay, Josh Palmer went. That was my original plan.
Yeah, I want to Fryermuth so bad, but I didn't get him.
Past that, I have a guy that I'm gonna save. I think he falls to me with the next pick. But when we're talking about immediate impact, we could potentially have a guy. I mean, if Alvin Kamara gets hurt, realistically, I don't think Jamal Williams is even good at football anymore. Kendra Miller should be the RB2. I don't hate taking another guy that could potentially be involved in the offense, unless Taysom Hill's just going to be the goddamn goal line back. So Rico Dowdle, the trunks, I like that a lot. I think Rico could be the guy. And then here we go, Dean's back.
I'm gonna take a flyer on a handcuff in Marshawn Lloyd.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I like Marshawn Lloyd too.
No,
Luke
team
Musgrave, that
2. How
I
could you?
was taking Ty Chandler. So
Yo, Ty Chandler
Yeah.
is my dog. Let's talk about Ty Chandler just because none of us are going to be able to draft him in this. Ty Chandler is a guy you must target in the last 2 rounds of your fantasy draft.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
You must go. Like, if he is there, like, I honestly should have taken him in the last round. That was silly. of me. Dontavion Woods is another one, too. but Ty Chandler was a guy who came in last year after Alexander Madison got benched and produced and scored touchdowns. And listen, yeah, they made a big move and brought in Aaron Jones, but come on, Aaron Jones is going to miss time.
Yeah.
Like, out of all, you're drafting a handcuffed, hoping that the guy in front of him misses time. We know Aaron Jones will miss at least a game.
Right.
You'll at least get a game out of Ty Chandler. I mean, people were starting Ty Chandler in the fantasy playoffs last year, and, like, he came up big for a lot of people. So, like, this is a guy who, given the opportunity, I really feel like he could produce. So,
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I'm left to my last pick. Troy Franklin, Jahan Dotson, definitely in consideration. Jalen Polk, definitely in consideration. It's one of those 3 for me. And, man, God, who has the best chance at pulling something off here? Maybe Jalen Polk could be the number 1 target here, so I'm going to go with Jalen Polk. I don't hate it. I don't feel great about it. There's definitely not many. I like Troy Franklin a lot, the prospect, have him on my dynasty squad. But he fell to the 4th for a reason, and I don't know what it is yet.
So I'm gonna be quick with this. We said Javonte might get cut. He sucks at football. I'm gonna take Jaleel McLaughlin. I'll just take some hopeful guaranteed
Yeah,
volume.
Bro,
here.
he's the Sean Payton.
chill out on the Javonte stuff, though. He don't suck.
He was not good last year. It was some ugly football. I'm not
But
gonna.
what do they say? That it takes a while to come back. He tore both. He tore
Yeah,
his
he did.
ACL and his
He did-
MCL,
he
bro.
did his ACL. Yeah.
He definitely did.
I think it's crazy if they cut him. Like,
I
I'm not gonna
agree with
lie.
that
Yeah, no, I
statement.
think cutting him is crazy.
Certainly agree with that statement. I think that's
Like, they're
insane.
supposedly choosing between him and Samaj AP Ryan. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
I mean, Samaje, I guess I see the vision
Jaleel
a
was
little
like
bit.
solid last year. I mean, I don't know what he did.
I love the top
Like,
half
he-
of my draft.
Yeah.
Don't like the bottom.
Hate the bottom.
Nah, I'm raw dogging it.
I don't draft a backup.
I never
QB.
draft a backup quarterback.
I hate the bottom half.
Unless
Unless
I
it's-
take
yeah.
a guy like, so like for me, A-Rich honestly kind of lends to me needing to draft a backup quarterback, but I didn't end up doing it. So it is.
I'll
what it
draft
is.
a backup quarterback if, like, I'm drafting, like, a later round quarterback that I'm not too confident with.
Like Jaden
like,
Daniels.
I'm not going to waste a draft pick just so I could have a guy for a bye week. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I lose the week my quarterback's out because I can't pick anyone good up off free agency, like, so be it. I'm not gonna.
like,
I'm gonna keep going for these upside swings on receivers and running backs.
no, like I
and all that.
remember last season I picked up like Minshew and he put up like 20 or 22 one week.
Yeah.
So like I'll take my chances there.
Yeah, I mean, if you take like a Jaden Daniels, then maybe I consider it. But
Right.
yeah. All right, Chris. Yeah. He got a lot of targets
Hey,
last
so,
year.
yeah,
by
somebody's got to
Bryce
catch the ball.
Young.
He definitely ran out of gas down the stretch of the season, but
Yeah.
somebody's got to catch the ball.
Those 5 games will be great.
Last pick in the draft, it's a swing for the fences. We talked about it earlier in the show, earlier in the draft, the possibility of Brandon Ayuk getting traded. Another guy will need to step into a role if that happens. It might be Jawan Jennings, or it could be the guy that they drafted in the first round. So I'm going to end my draft with Ricky Pearsall, see what happens.
Yeah.
And
There it
that
is.
is-
That's the end of it. That's
was
Kate
fun.
Otten is Mr. Irrelevant. So
Does everyone want to rattle off their teams?
yeah, we'll go well actually I'll do theirs first. I'll pull up Trunks' team first and then I'll read it off. I'm just gonna read the start.
You want me to come over, or you got it?
Yeah, the full board of the chalk.
Should I read the bench? No, right? I'm not reading no damn
No,
bench.
I don't read the bench. I mean, you're not going to put it.
All right, so Troncali's team is Brock Purdy, Travis Etienne, Alvin Kamara, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Dalton Kincaid, James Conner, and Calvin Ridley. It's a pretty fucking good
It's
team,
a pretty damn
Trunks.
good team.
And then Pete's team is Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zach Moss, A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brock Bowers, and DeAndre Hopkins.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it
I
aside
actually
from
don't hate
Brock starting at flex.
Yeah, that was a bad pick.
Yeah, but what if he's a god?
He could be.
You went quarterback and then back-to-back tight ends too. Like
That was a crazy one once he
this
run.
man is Jacoby Myers as the first guy off his bench.
That's insane.
That's
I'd rather
nasty
have
work.
Josh Palmer starting in my
That
flex
is
spot than
nasty
your
work.
9th round pick. So, yeah.
You might have drafted the worst.
I like
bench.
Josh Palmer.
You might have drafted the worst bench of all time.
Yeah, this is horrendous. B-Rob is probably the goal line back, so I don't hate that
B-Rob's
either.
cool.
But,
Josh Palmer's a good pick at the
Yeah.
12th round.
Yeah. all right, Chris, go ahead. Read your team off.
All right. So at quarterback, we have Kyler Murray. At running back, I took Saquon and James Cook. My receivers are G-Dub, Garrett Wilson, and Jalen Waddle. My tight end is Mr. Dalton Schultz. My 2 flexes are Amari Cooper and Terry McLaurin. Then my bench, I got Lad McConkey, Zeke, Chuba Hubbard, Josh Downs, and Ricky Pearsall. I cooked.
Yeah,
I think it's a good draft.
I James cooked.
good team.
You
I
did
think
cook.
it's a good draft. All right, so for my team,
I won't
I
win
ended
the
up
championship with this team. I just won't.
I ended up selecting. So I had the 5th pick, and I took Anthony Richardson, Isaiah Pacheco, Ramondre Stevenson, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Jake Ferguson, Devontae Smith, and Deontay Johnson.
Dang.
It's a squad.
Dang.
It's a squad.
Disappointment. How you gonna?
But
What's your rebuttal?
I'm in redraft, so
How are you
I'm
gonna
gonna
feel?
swing for the
Disappointed?
fences.
30 seconds rebuttal.
I'm in redraft. I'm swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
So,
Swinging for disappointment.
You're right.
and who's disappointing me? Because even if they disappoint,
Hey, Rich.
I
if he
still have
tears his
Jamar,
shoulder again.
still
Do
have
not say
Devontae
that,
Smith.
bro.
Don't do that.
Please,
Don't do
please.
that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Deontay Johnson. if he's
Pacheco,
just not
safe.
good again.
Ramondre,
Ramondre,
healthy,
if
safe.
he's just not that good again, yeah, I don't think
he's a receiving back at bare minimum. He was good last year. He was decent
on the
last year when
Patriots.
healthy. As my RB2, I'm okay with it. They got to be better
I
than they
don't know.
were last
Ramondre
year.
was
You have to be
my,
better.
my running back too in a
Doesn't
lot of
mean they have
weeks
to be
last
good.
year, and I wasn't happy.
He's my flex last year, I think. Somehow.
All right. So my team, I was picking at 7. I have Trevor Lawrence as my quarterback. My 2 running backs are Bijan Robinson and Kyron Williams. My receivers are Nico Collins and Malik Neighbors. Tight end is TJ Hawkinson. My 2 flexes are T. Higgins and Christian Kirk, with Hollywood Brown, Jonathan Brooks, Zach Charbonnet, Ben Sinnott, and Jaleel McLaughlin on my bench.
Nice.
I kind of like your team,
I
and
like
especially if Hawk comes back healthy.
Yeah.
So-
If Hawk's healthy.
It
I'll
all
take it.
relies on TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, Hawkinson's
So,
good.
think it's that.
Tight end's not going to, kill me.
Um,
Yeah.
It could.
I loved my draft up until my second flex. So my QB's Jalen Hurts.
Yuck.
My running backs are Kenneth Walker and Zamir White, who I'm very happy with for where I took them. My receivers are Tyreek Hill and Brandon Ayuk. Love that. Mark Andrews is my tight end. Chris Godwin as my flex 1 is great. I also love that pick. My second flex, Keon Coleman, big stinker.
I think
Don't like
Devin
that pick.
Singletary. Could
Yeah,
be
you
your
could put
second.
Devin Singletary
in there
will
for
probably be
sure.
there. I also took Tyler Lockett, Chase Brown, Marshawn Lloyd, and Tavian Wicks.
So I think you have a really good team.
It's a solid
Alright,
squad.
so-
Yeah.
I think you had a good job.
Real quick, do you guys have like a pick you would want to go back and change? Like me, I definitely would go back and take Evan Ingram over Hollywood Brown, no doubt.
Do I have a pick
Curious.
I would
I'm curious.
change?
Like
I
with
think-
hindsight.
I'd probably take James Conner over Ramondre, and then just take Trey Benson later in the draft. Oh, I ended up taking Trey Benson
Yeah, you
anyway.
took Trey Benson, so
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I wish I took James Conner over
Yeah.
Ramondre.
No, I don't have a pick that I would have changed.
I mean, looking back at my Keon pick, I don't even know who else I would have picked. So
Let's see. Where are you at, Dean Wagner? Keon Coleman, and then after that,
I'm not taking
Devontae,
JSN over
Jalen
him.
Warren, Austin Eckler, JSN,
Yeah, I
Devin
mean-
Singletary, and what you ended up taking.
I would have taken Bowers over Kittle.
And not
You would have
take
taken
Kittle.
Bowers over Kittle.
Interesting.
Really? You're very high on Brock Bowers.
Well, you could have just not taken Kittle and taken somebody else and still taken Bowers.
Could have taken
Or you could have
Amari
Amari
Cooper,
Cooper, yeah.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, I don't like Swift, but wow, yeah. All right. What a-
And one other thing. Other than your own team, whose team do you think is the best?
Oh, that's a good one. Truncali.
I think Trunks takes that one.
You guys are meat riders, bro.
I think my team is the best personally, though, but that's fair.
I don't think your team is the best. I honestly personally hate the Pacheco 3rd round pick. Hate it.
Really?
Hate
What's wrong? What do you not like about Isaiah Pacheco?
I just don't think Pacheco's even all that good.
Excuse me? What?
I like
Chris.
Chris's team.
What is not good
Tom.
about
I
Isaiah
like,
Pacheco?
I like your team,
Thanks,
actually.
man.
I was just, I have it right here. I like your team.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Dynasty
KC's moving
Dog.
towards a multiple running backfield.
Who's their backup?
I don't know, Luis Reese Zammit.
Yo,
Get the fuck out of here,
in my
brother.
slime.
And that is where we start to
Yo,
close
you
things
seen
here.
Kadarius Toney's actually playing running back a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah, he sucks.
I mean, he can't catch the ball, so
Wait,
there-
Well, you don't gotta catch the ball
that
there.
boy
That's what I'm
is cooked.
And B sent me Kadarius Tony playing running back. He said, Debo's next quest. Tony got feet for hands. He needed a career change.
Who knows? Maybe he's the sleeper pick of the year that nobody picked.
Yo.
Yo,
What crawls in your ass and fucking
I'm so ready to go to bed, honestly.
yeah.
We're doing trivia after this.
Oh, yay.
Dean's here. We got to do a trivia with Dean.
That's fair.
Christ.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. Go cop a BallGame 1K hoodie. Do all that good stuff. Dean, thank you for coming on.
thanks for having me.
One of the OGs, one of the first the Fab Five. That's what we'll call it, the Fab Five.
Sorry, Tom.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
he's
here
not
now,
an OG.
so-
You're
you
in the
can't do
three.
anything about it.
You're in the
This is now
final.
the big three.
Yeah, the big
That
three.
was the Fab Five.
Yeah.
So, and another one of the OGs.
You're like the
behind camera
Heatles.
over there,
Just big.
Truncali.
I'm the 07 Cavs.
Pete, thank you for being here. Love you, buddy. All right. And with all that, everyone go play NCAA football right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Go do that
We will be.
at this
Not
current
sponsored.
moment. Not sponsored at all, but we'd love a sponsorship from you, Eddie. All right. And with that,
Ball game.
That was ball game.